Today's episode of the Conversation Havers podcast is brought to you by Clearwater Pressure Wash. They're a pressure washing company in the League City and Friendswood area, and they are the best in the business in the area. They'll give you an amazing, fair price for their work. They do houses, driveways, sidewalks, curbs, patios, really anything you ask of them. I've seen their videos on Instagram. The before and after is really amazing. It can really just revitalize the way your home or your patio looks. You can find them on Instagram and Facebook at Clearwater Pressure Wash, or you can email jesusv32@gmail.com and get in contact with them that way. I highly recommend them, and they are the official sponsor of the Conversation Havers podcast.
Hey, welcome to the Conversation Havers podcast, and my name's Trey.
My name is Collin.
And we have a special guest. We've known him for a little bit. Another guy that we just know from school. His name's Jake.
Yeah, he is our resident Game of Thrones expert, and he's already been in many of the stories we've told on this podcast, including the waterboarding story. And he witnessed when me and Trey adapted the room for the stage.
Yeah. How did you feel about that performance?
It was pretty bad.
I thought it was okay.
You were supposed to record it.
I tried. I got yelled at.
Really?
Yeah, Stoney pulled me aside.
What? You couldn't have done it more low-key?
I thought I was like...
Stoney's got the eyes of a hawk.
Dude, I'm telling you, dude, he can disappear into the walls.
He is a superhuman.
Could have been recording underneath your shirt. I did something visually.
Yeah, you can't just
podcast.
mimic things or mime things or demonstrate things.
I'm bad about that.
Yeah, God.
You gotta use your descriptive language.
Okay.
All right. Well.
All right. So yeah.
Anyways, so the theme of this episode is Game of Thrones.
Yeah, we're going to be talking theories. We're going to be talking the shit we like about the show, the shit we don't like about the show.
The shit we kind of like about the show.
I was about to say, it's going to be Game of Thrones all out because this final season is coming up.
It's going to be the shit.
Yeah, I seriously think this might be this is going to be one of those, of this entire decade, it's going to be oh yeah, culturally, this and Endgame,
yeah.
But we've already talked too much about Endgame.
Those two things will be basically pillars
Milestones.
of pop culture for years and years.
Yeah,
people are gonna look at April 2019 and be like, holy shit!
Wait, and this is dropping in April?
Yeah,
a week from today.
A week?
Yeah.
Damn, I don't keep up.
A week from tomorrow.
Oh.
Or Sunday, a week from Sunday.
Yeah.
Damn, I don't keep up to date with literally anything, so
Do you not watch the trailers, dude?
No, I if we were not doing this, I would not have watched the trailers.
Well, I mean, it just showed the date 4 times in a row.
I wasn't really paying attention.
Yeah, it kind of said April 14th.
I like pictures. I don't like to read. Words are for nerds.
Reading is hard.
Yeah. All right, well, so I figured I'm just going to ask Siri to pick one of 3. Do y'all want to talk about our least favorite character, favorite fight?
Let's get the negativity out. Let's do least favorite first.
Okay. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Got it.
Siri, choose between one of 3. God. What should I say specifically?
Pick a number 1 to 3.
Okay.
1 and 3.
Siri, pick a number between 1 and 3.
It's 1.
Okay, Collin.
All right. So, my least favorite character, by pretty much a mile, is Cersei.
Okay. And this is in terms of morality?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lena Headey. How do you say her name? Headey.
Yeah.
She's an incredible actress. She makes the character so hateable.
Yeah.
So I'm not one of those people that hates the actress or anything like that.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
I remember one time Thomas Peters was talking about how much he hated Sicario because the one woman that who's in, I haven't even seen Sicario.
Emma Blunt or something.
Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt.
He was like, she whines too much. It's like, that's her character. Like,
wait, was he saying he doesn't like her?
He said he didn't like the entire movie because of that.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people like that. They'll just be like, you can be like that on some things where it's like,
I only speak the truth.
Like, literally, one thing will happen in a movie, and he's like, bro, fuck that movie. Fuck that movie. Dude. But then again...
There are some times where one thing can ruin a movie. Though.
I can be like that, though. Like, I can't even pull up any examples, but, like, I have done that before where I'm just like, fuck this movie, and then just clock out.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah. It's just, like... She's such a despicable character. Like, from the start, I hated her more than Joffrey.
Oh, yeah.
Like...
Oh, wait.
From a lot of people, I get, like...
I'm one of the only people that felt bad for Joffrey when he died. Like, just in the moment, I know.
I laughed, dude. That was funny.
He was a fucking asshole, but just watching that, I was like, damn, that's a bad way to...
I was, like, celebrating.
I know I should have been celebrating, but it's like, I don't know. I was just like, damn. Because he was a kid. Like, I feel like he was just led in the wrong direction.
I don't know, because
he's inbred.
His siblings...
His
siblings turned out pretty good, so I think he's just a fucking psychopath.
Oh, damn, that is true. Because Tommen really seemed like a nicer person.
He was too nice. That's why he killed himself.
Yeah.
He was a pushover.
And then, like, Marcella, you only get to, like, see her for, like, 5 seconds, and then she dies.
Yeah. She's, like, on that boat. She's like, I love this one boy from Dorne. And then they're just like, bleh!
But, no, like, she's the forgotten sibling. Like, with the Starks, it's fucking Rickon. Like, Rickon Stark didn't do shit throughout the entire series.
Like, okay, I know who you're talking about.
Literally did not do shit. Like, every other Stark child got their own big, elaborate storyline.
He just got shot
like,
with an arrow.
Yeah, he's like a child, and then he fucks off for 3 seasons, and he comes back solely to die. Like,
I love that. That's so amazing. Like, I wonder how he feels. He's technically a part of this epic show, but it's like, what character he plays? Like,
it's such a mild role. Yeah.
But it's just the fact every other Stark character got like this huge, like very important arc.
Who would y'all say is your favorite Stark?
Ooh,
I'm gonna say. Okay, I just like Arya because she's like Batman now. Whenever she killed all of the Freys,
she's a sociopath now.
Yeah,
kind of badass. Like,
so I'm guessing you can't
just wear skins, different people's skins. You know,
it is weird, but
I'm guessing you can't count Jon Snow as a Stark anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
you can.
Half Stark.
He is half Stark,
and he did like grow up with them, so it's like. He is a part
if it's
of the
favorite
family.
Stark, it's Jon Snow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, he's kind of the centerpiece to the whole show.
It's him and Daenerys.
And obviously, we're doing full spoilers.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, for literally everything. Yeah. And if you haven't watched this show, it doesn't matter if you don't like fantasy. If you just like good storytelling and like it's fucking crazy shit. Like, it really is one of the best shows
like
ever.
Everyone will just focus on the fact that there's like a few dicks, and like that upsets like the organization of Christian parents for some reason. So like a lot of people will be very upset about that.
Lots of titties though.
Lots of titties, lots of dicks.
Lots of dicks, yeah.
But it's not really even that big.
It wasn't really that many dicks. I remember like three or 4 dicks.
There's a good amount of dicks.
Yeah.
But they're all floppy.
It's like a 1-to-2 ratio between dicks and tits.
Well, that's just
there's
kind of
way
the natural
more.
order of
There's
things.
way more boobs in the show.
It's a lot of dicks too.
Also, here's the thing.
But then again, 2 titties is more than 1 dick.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like a 4-to-1 ratio.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But here's the thing: is that's how it was back then. Like, they're not overdoing it. That's just legit. Yeah. Okay. Well, not that this is a real universe, but like in kind of the parallel of the universe that they're going off of, that's how it was. Like back in like the medieval times or whatever.
Yeah. Like just walking around with their titties out,
dicks out. You know, that's how it was. Anyways, back to least favorite character.
Yeah.
Definitely. I always hated Cersei more than Joffrey. I remember I started watching as soon, like a few weeks after season 6 ended.
Same.
And so
Because I got you on.
you got me onto it.
late
And I don't even think
bloomers.
you were
Dude, I
doing
was
that.
so late.
Yeah. But no. And so the last thing I saw when I went through the entire like first 6 seasons in like maybe a week.
It's the fastest I've ever watched a
Yeah.
show. It took me 2 years to watch Breaking Bad, and that show was all on Netflix, and it took me 2 years. But
Yeah.
I don't know why.
But no, like at the end of season 6, you just see fucking Cersei sit on the Iron Throne, and I remember being like, I have to fucking end on this shit. Like, this was going great until now. Like, I was upset for like a full day at least, just like very visibly pissed off.
Okay.
So
Well,
yeah, what about we can just go.
my
Category-wise.
least favorite character easily is Shay, and that is
that's a good one.
Tyrion's girlfriend that he loves. And literally every single time she was even on the screen, I got seriously pissed.
All she does is
she's-
complain.
She's the worst character in the show. People talk about the Sand Snakes being bad, and it's like, at least they're cool warriors. Like, and you get to see them do fight scenes and stuff. And they have, like, scorpions, like, rope knives or whatever from Mortal Kombat. But, like, seriously, she's the worst. And, like, they got an actual porn star to
Yeah.
like
Wait,
play her.
is she
yes,
really?
yes, she was a porn star.
I did not
so
know
it's like
that.
it explains why her acting is so bad.
Hey, she made the jump. Other porn stars can only dream of that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were on
Like,
a parody version of Game of Thrones.
yeah, like Game of Bones,
Game of
Game of
Wieners.
Bones, definitely.
Game of Cocks.
It has to rhyme.
I
It
think-
has to
okay.
rhyme.
I think
Harry, wait. My favorite one of all time is it's like
Harry Ballsack.
No. It's something in the Sorcerer's Balls. It's like Harry something in the Sorcerer's Balls. That's like just one of my favorite titles of anything
oh
ever.
gosh.
But yeah, Shay. I really hate that character.
I think we took the meaning of worse a little differently there, but I see what you mean by that.
Yeah. No, I'm not talking about morality wise.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about like character wise, like the character I hated seeing on screen the most. Easily her. So, what do you think?
Before I say mine, can we come to an agreement on how, even though you didn't like her, she played an integral role
Yeah,
in
no, I'm not.
Tyrion's development?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm not going to deny that. I just like, nothing can make me.
You just kind of
Yeah,
zoned out every time you saw her.
not
Or
even.
just-
I mean, to be honest, it's been years since I watched
yeah,
all of
yeah.
this, so it's like it's. I mean, I don't remember exactly how I was
Yeah.
feeling, except for just like, God, I fucking hate this character, and every time she's on screen, I want the scene to end. Like that's.
Yeah. She was a pretty bad actress, and just all she ever did was fucking complain.
She's like, Tyrion, they are going to do this. Like, and it's like Tyrion's such a good character,
Yeah,
you know, like in a show with 200 characters and most of them are like I've like sat down and obsessed over characters and just watched videos on the Hound and stuff like that
Yeah.
because they're like badass, but it's like in a show like that you're gonna have some duds, and
Yeah.
she's one of them.
Yeah, when you've got 300 people in the fucking main cast,
Yeah,
one or two of them are going to be ass.
that rhymed.
Oh,
But,
wow.
what do you think? Or what's yours?
Yeah, Jake.
Well, see, I kind of have like a half answer, and then I'll go into like another half answer. So
Okay.
two halves make one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
One of my least favorite characters in the entire show was Tommen. That was
He wasn't even in it for that long.
I know.
Well,
but he made that much of an impact
Yeah,
on you.
he
he
was.
was king for
such-
like 2.5 seasons.
Yeah,
No.
but
Yeah.
he was.
God,
He was just a puppet, you know. Siri
Yeah.
was the real king.
Siri was the king.
But
Yeah,
like,
bro. We don't care about gender.
he did nothing significant every time he was on screen. He did absolutely nothing.
Except
Yeah,
killing
yeah,
himself.
yeah. That was probably the best season I've ever seen
Mhm.
just him because he killed himself.
Whenever that
It's a little
happened,
brutal.
What was it very obvious to y'all that he was about to jump out the window? Just from the way they framed the shot, I was like, as soon as he entered the frame, I was like, he's about to kill himself.
It was such a pushover character.
Also, I had it spoiled for me that he killed himself, so...
Shit.
Yeah.
I had Jon Snow's death spoiled for me.
Yeah, but he came back to life, so it's not really a death.
I mean, yeah. But, like, the moment could have still been shocking.
Yeah.
But, anyways, your half answer?
Yeah, it's just... He was such a pushover character the entire time. Like, every scene he was in, he was the same exact way. He had no pitch in his voice. It was just stagnant the whole time.
Yeah.
He had no development until his wife with quotations, Marjorie, who didn't even like the dude. He just wanted to be queen until she died. And then just like that, he was like, oh, I guess I'll kill myself.
Yeah.
What a pushover, dude. I hate that kid. I hate all of it. All of Cersei's kids are pushovers, dude. Screw them.
Dude, you know he's actually dating the actress that played Marcella? That's some true Lannister... Marcella?
Okay.
His sister.
Okay.
So, like, that's some true, like, Lannister incest on and off the screen right there.
Very nice.
And then
incest is wincest.
That's what I'm talking about.
Absolutely the fuck not.
Not. But who's?
And then the second half to my question would be Daenerys when she's in her Khaleesi stage.
I'm not gonna lie, Daenerys really gets on my nerves a lot of the time. People are like, she's such a strong leader, and it's like, I don't know, her character really pisses me off sometimes.
She was naive, and she was dumb.
She thinks with her emotions. Like you're trying to be like a leader of the entire world, pretty much.
I had to pause every episode that was focused on her at least twice because I would get so frustrated watching her.
Really?
Just her character all the way up until she crosses the sea into Westeros. Mm-hmm. I just hate it. I hate it. So
now that she's crossed the sea, I like her a lot.
Yeah. Now that she's being called Daenerys instead of Khaleesi. Yeah. You know, it's like...
I think season 1 and 2, I liked her character. And then as soon as she got, like... Because, you know, you're just waiting for her to, like, you know, go conquer Westeros, and then she just, like, fucking free slaves for 4 seasons.
And she doesn't even do it well. Dude, that's the thing. She's like...
It's like...
They do the same thing with her.
It got so annoying. Like,
Every single season, there's a big episode where Daenerys frees a bunch of slaves or does something, and it's like... And it's supposed to just, like, every single time, it's like... She's a hero, and that's like that entire part, and it's just like,
and then it backfires, and then terrorists come out and start killing everybody. And she's like, "Why is this happening?"
Yeah, she's not that good of a leader.
I don't know. Maybe take Tyrion's advice.
Seasons 3 through 6, Daenerys' character was awful.
Yeah, which is funny because she's one of the biggest cornerstones of everything. You know what I mean?
I really like her in 1 and 2, and I really like her in 7, but 3 through 6 is just bad.
I think she becomes more likable when she enters Westeros.
Dude, season 7, I was like, I like her now. Like, that's crazy. Mm-hmm. It's funny, as soon as she meets Jon Snow, one of the best characters.
And I think Jon Snow's character gets a lot better when he meets Daenerys, too.
Really?
Everyone liked Jon Snow. But... He was kind of cookie cutter up until that point, up until his death. Yeah. And then shortly after that, when he meets Daenerys, I think his character has significantly improved by that point.
In what way?
In the beginning, he was all about, he was kind of just the knight in white shining armor. You know, I got to protect everything. I got to do all this. I'm going to do all this.
I think once he
dies.
Once he dies, and then specifically whenever he becomes the king after the Battle of the Bastards, that's whenever he's like, I'm not just a knight. I'm not just some dude. I run an entire kingdom.
There's no good or bad thing in this world. It's all just perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, I would say that
I think some characters have more integrity.
Yeah,
my favorite characters. Except one of my favorite characters is a complete goon and is a terrible person, but the other one is one of the most staunchly
vigilant.
He's one of the only quote unquote good people in this entire world. Yeah. So,
but no, one of the things within the whole Jon Snow thing is that I don't think his character got any better or worse. It just developed. Like
it's
I wouldn't
hard.
say that like
Like an improvement develop, or just a developed in general?
like a develop in general, like because the
Yeah.
character to
I mean,
reach
more
that
shit
point had
happens
to
to
be
him, like-
had to be set up in that way.
Yeah, I see
So
what you mean.
I wouldn't really say his character got better. It just developed. Like I think he's been on that level the entire show.
Well, yeah, that's like, and that's just gonna happen no matter what.
Yeah.
The more shit happens to them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think it would. Yeah, everyone loves Jon Snow. It's gonna.
And the way I like to think about it, but this is the way that I think it was meant to be since the beginning, is, it starts off in Winterfell. That's where the whole series begins. That's the first.
Yeah, well, Beyond the Wall.
Yeah, okay, but Beyond the Wall.
But
But then when you get to
Winterfell,
your
sorry.
actual characters,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
in
yeah.
Winterfell in the north.
And then you just meet
And
everyone.
then shortly after that, it cuts all the way across. I forget what the sea is called.
The Narrow Sea.
The Narrow Sea to Khaleesi, and like in her desert an area.
Mhm.
The first book, it's called Game of Thrones: A Song of Ice
and fire. Yeah.
and once Ice and Fire, once Daenerys and Jon Snow come together,
Mm-hmm.
I think the show just takes off. That's where everything gets better.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt that season 7 just absolutely shits upon all
Everything.
other 6
Yeah.
seasons, and the other 6 seasons are some of the 6 best seasons in
Of television.
history.
television
Yeah.
history.
What's hilarious is everyone. I personally did not have a single problem with the whole thing about Gendry running. Like, so they're deep in past the wall, and like all of that shit's happening. They're trying to get the one zombie to bring
Yeah.
back to everyone. Gendry is like the only one who gets away, and he runs to the wall. And
Yeah.
people were like, "Oh, that would have taken so long. You would have froze." And it's like, bro, like everything in this entire show is accelerating now. Like
Yeah.
we have been just moving like just imagine like train wheels that just moving so slowly from season 1, season 2. It's like
slowly. Yeah.
it's like things are happening, with the 5 kings and all that, but then it's like but the whole Beyond the Wall threat, which is the real threat of the entire show, is just barely it's coming, but it's just
we're on a slope now.
Yeah.
Those wheels are
Coming.
gonna start spinning
and it's like season 7 is when things like it's like something's taken out and it's like chug 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 like
it's getting faster
and it's like
faster.
whenever you have story, you kind of have to make some, especially with a comprehensive show
with
like
a lot
this.
of stories, intertwining
Yeah,
stories,
and it's like some things are gonna have to. It's like just that's what's gonna bother you about this. Like you just
Yeah.
saw a dragon get stabbed and turn into an ice dragon, or maybe that didn't happen. Wow, Gendry, but it's like this is the universe you're in. Like
Yeah.
I freaking hate people that just complain over shit like that. Season 7 was amazing.
Yeah,
phenomenal.
and the whole accelerating thing can really be shown like within just that group that goes beyond the wall. Like
Yeah.
that when
Oh my
that
God,
happened,
dude, that
I
was
was like
amazing.
flipping my shit.
That was
It's
like the Justice
'cause
League
it was like
of this show.
Yeah, it was like
it's-
Beric Dondarrion and
There's
Hound.
too many.
the Hound, Jorah Mormont,
Few no-name
Jon
characters.
Snow. Yeah,
Yeah.
some guys that can die without anybody
Immediately.
caring. Gendry. Then you had
How many
Davos,
of them made
but
it back?
he went back. But he was at
all the
wall.
characters that have names.
All the characters that have names made it.
That's
Yeah.
so crazy.
So like
And,
a
and
third
then-
of them made it back.
I thought they
Yeah.
were gonna kill the redhead.
No,
dude.
no. They killed Beric.
Was
no,
that
not
him?
Beric. Thoros of Myr. They killed Thoros of Myr.
Yeah. See, I don't even like.
I don't remember who
The
that
dude
is.
with the flaming sword.
No,
No, he's
that's
still alive.
Beric.
He's still
That's
alive.
Beric Dondarrion.
No, they both had flaming swords.
Well, the one with the eye patch with the flaming
Yeah.
sword.
But
He's
there's
alive.
another guy that the white bear kills.
Oh, I forgot
Yeah,
there was a
that's
zombie
Thoros of
bear
Myr.
in this.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
other show has a fucking giant zombie bear that like mauls someone?
Yeah, like
That shit is badass.
yeah. So Thoros of Myr doesn't make it, but he doesn't die by like the main White Walker army. He's already
Yeah.
dying by the time they're surrounded by them.
Yeah.
And then I think he dies overnight. But yeah.
Yeah.
It's also so cool how like you can, if you rewatch the show, you can hear like lore being spread before like the
It's all
characters
like an
that
ad
show
lib
up.
from from side
Because
characters.
you hear like Thoros of Myr is mentioned in like season 1. I think Jaime Lannister is talking to one of Ned's guards, and they're talking about Thoros of Myr like running drunkenly into one of the big battles of Robert's Rebellion
Damn.
with
With
his
his
flaming
sword,
sword,
yeah.
and they're like, "Yeah, that's a moment I'll never forget." And then you don't even like know who
Yeah,
that
you
is.
you
It's
just
been, like
think
years.
2 or 3
Yeah.
seasons later, you finally meet this like crazy motherfucker with
Living in a
Brotherhood
cave,
of No
keeps
Banners.
getting revived every time he dies.
Wait, so that's Thoros? I thought
Yeah.
that was Beric Dondarrion.
The Beric gets revived. Thoros revives him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
He's like the more priest type dude.
yeah.
Okay, cool. Dude, I freaking love Beric. The first time I saw him just turn up that flame sword, like, it's like, it's not even really that big of an advantage, but it's like, it just looks
It's
fucking cool.
cool,
Him
man.
just like, like, I was like, damn.
Well, it's definitely an advantage when you're fighting whites.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. And for normal people, so maybe I'm just tripping. All right,
Yeah.
I guess it feels so much like this battle, like, I don't even know how it's going to go. It's like, because there's so many White Walkers, and it's like,
You talking about the battle that's the
Battle of
epic
Winterfell?
finale coming
yes,
up? Okay.
yes. It's
Okay.
like, how do you think there's enough Unsullied? I mean, obviously,
Well, here's the thing about it is, if you kind of recall back to when that little expedition beyond the wall to get that White Walker, or the White, it wasn't a White Walker. There's a difference between
White Walkers are like the Ice King, or the Night's King. He's a White Walker, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a white
He's
is
the White King,
yeah.
and then there's several White Walkers. You could think of them as kind of like generals,
Okay.
and
and
then
each general has like a select amount of whites, which are like the zombies.
Yeah.
yeah, because the whites that are zombies that's actually spelled WIGHT. It's like a
Yeah.
completely separate like entity.
Yeah, and
Damn.
if you recall back to when that expedition first encounters the White Walkers and the Whites, it's just it's one White Walker and there's like 20 or 30 Whites,
Yeah.
and every time that they would kill the Whites, they would just get back up,
Yeah.
except for John because he had that Valyrian steel and they would just disintegrate.
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as they killed that White Walker, all of the Whites died instant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So
okay.
if you kill the Night King,
If
It'll
you
probably-
kill the
all
White
of
King,
them
it'll,
die?
it'll probably kill all of them.
yeah,
Because the White King is making White Walkers.
he's the OG.
All right. Well, then everything's pretty simple. We just got to
So,
kill the Night
I mean,
King.
as long as he can get through like those millions of whites to get to those generals or the White King.
Well, I think he
They're gonna
likes
find a
showing
way.
himself off though. Like he's always like on a cliff, just like using those like fucking blue eyes, just like staring at shit. Like,
Yeah.
God, I think those are some of the most standout moments up until you like. I mean, the first big moment of the show is a White Walker like killing someone, but it's like every single time, like Hardhome's your first big like display of them.
like, oh shit, this is
fighting.
actually a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like before that, it's like you just see them a couple
It's
times.
like, oh, you can't get past the wall.
Hardhome is like Battle of the Bastards before Battle of the Bastards.
Yeah.
Except involving whites.
yeah.
I
And
actually
White
think Hardhome. I liked Hardhome more than Battle of the Bastards.
I think I mean,
I felt more anxious.
yeah.
I felt fear when I watched that.
Yeah.
I think overall as a battle scene, I think the whatchamacallit,
Battle of the Bastards.
Battle of the Bastards is better. Just the first shot of like
All of his horses.
whenever
yeah.
yes, the horse is running past and he's just got his sword, like that is like unbelievable,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But it's like Hardhome was a horror movie
It's
to
like
me.
my-
like that was the closest
My
the show
ass
came
cheeks
to
were
a-
clenched the whole
Yeah.
time.
So would you say Hardhome is your favorite battle, or
Yeah, it's,
No.
it's one of my favorites for sure.
It's not my favorite.
what's your favorite?
My favorite, well, it's not a battle, it's just a fight, but it's easily my favorite fight in the show, and it's Brienne of Tarth and the Hound.
Okay.
Just
brutal.
literally, that almost brought me to tears the 1st time. Whenever she's just hitting him and just like screaming, because there's a huge push now for like strong female characters, and it's like that's
Right.
cool as long as they're written well. Brienne of Tarth is like one of the best examples of that.
I
Like,
think so,
I
too.
don't think about the fact that she's a woman at all. She's just like a noble hero. And
Yeah.
it's like her fighting the Hound, even though I love the Hound too,
Yeah.
even though he's kind of
That
a scoundrel.
conflicted me a lot watching that fight.
But see, that's like, there's so many elements that go into it. It's like, if you go back and rewatch it, it's like, oh my God, like, that's easily my favorite fight. But so we didn't ask Siri that time. So do y'all want to go into, and Hard Home is your favorite battle? Or
I'd say that's probably my second favorite.
what's your favorite?
My first favorite was when the wildlings attacked Castle Black.
Oh, okay.
That's my
okay,
favorite
yeah.
fight.
Okay, yeah. I feel that.
That's kind of a slept on like battle.
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
people have forgotten about it up until
Yeah. I mean, I haven't forgotten about it, but it's like people.
it doesn't come to mind right away.
Yeah, when you think of like the epic battles, you think of like Hard Home or Battle of the Bastards.
Or Battle of the Blackwater.
Yeah.
Battle of the Blackwater,
Black-
dude.
yeah.
The Hound comes out and slices a dude in half, and you just see his entire torso. That, and you just see blood spray all. Like, the first time I saw that, I literally had to replay it just because he's just like, like, chops him down. That shit is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And he says something to the troops, like, something about dying. I'm not going to be able to pull it up, but he's just like, you finna
Yeah,
fucking
we can probably.
die.
I know what you're saying.
It's
like,
just a cool ass line he says because I don't know. But what's your favorite battle?
Okay, yeah. So my favorite battle also isn't necessarily a battle; it's a fight, but it's the Mountain versus
Oberyn Martell, the
Oberyn
Viper.
Martell, yeah.
Yeah,
I always forget his first name.
I think that was the first thing I ever saw of the show because you showed me in school him getting his head squashed.
smushed in.
It just pisses me off watching it.
Yeah.
Because like
He
Oberyn
has
would
it.
have just
He has
fucking
it
killed
in
him.
the bag. If he would have just stabbed him in the face,
But like the pure emotion
yeah,
of that moment,
yeah.
he's like, "You killed her, you raped her, you killed her children." It's like,
does a leg sweep.
yeah, he's just like absolutely obliterating the Mountain, and he's just like talking shit the whole time.
Yeah, and
And
I
so-
love how Tyrion's like, yeah, and just you see his fucking head gets quiet, and he's just like,
Oh fuck!
I'm dead.
Like literally, just the amount of emotion in that scene.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think you can. There's definitely. I think Battle of the Bastards is my second favorite, just because of the scope and
Yeah.
the like pure importance of it.
Yeah.
But when it just comes to like the pure emotion and even like almost the choreography, I guess you would say, of the fight,
Yeah.
and just the everything, the aura of it, whatever you want to call it, the energy.
Mm-hmm.
It was just on another level from any like one-on-one duel or really
Yeah.
any battle. So
I
I
think
think that was my favorite.
I like the Battle of the Bastards for its context because it's like I always related the most, and I really do feel like you're supposed to relate the most to the Starks, and it's like the Battle of the Bastards was them getting their home back, and it's like you
Yeah.
haven't seen all of them together since season 1, and it's like finally after everything's happened, all the characters just split off and have been living these crazy hard lives,
Yeah.
and then it's just like the hardest battle, and then they just all come back, and it or not everyone,
The four of them
they're
that
all-
are still
yeah.
alive.
and it's like, and it's just like that. I like the context of that battle the most, but yeah, but that's kind of like that's just like background to the battle itself.
And somebody we haven't really brought up yet, but Ramsay Bolton dying was one
yeah.
of my favorite moments
Yeah,
of the
that
show.
was very
Yeah.
satisfying.
Like-
Dude, the dog bites him like in his
the jaw.
God,
like
that was-
I cringed so hard the first time I saw that.
Oh, my jaw like hurts right now thinking about
Yeah,
it.
yeah. But I mean, if anybody deserves it, it is the Joker of the Game of Thrones universe.
That he literally
100%.
played that character so well they cast him to play Hitler after that.
In one
Really?
Yeah, I forgot what movie they did it with. but,
Uwe
like,
Boll's a better Hitler though.
Uwe Boll's definitely a better Hitler, but
Watch Blubberella.
but no, like he was so fucking like evil that they literally cast him to play Hitler after he was done playing Ramsay Bolton.
He could definitely
Yeah,
pull
I
off Hitler. I see it. I mean, he probably has at this point. The movie's probably out.
Yeah.
But whatchamacallit, do y'all want to talk about like your favorite characters now? And then after that, let's go into like some theories.
Some
I'm down.
conspiracy theories?
All
Yeah,
right.
pretty much.
Oh.
So let's see. You started your favorite battle.
Do you want to
So
start?
yeah, you start favorite character.
Yeah, I can do that. I kind of previously mentioned it already, but it's my favorite character in the entire series is Ned Stark.
Oh yeah.
Sean Bean.
Why does he die?
Why
does he have to
I don't
die?
know. He's Sean Bean. He has to die in everything
That's
he's
true.
in.
That's also very true.
But kind of referring back to the books. So I read the first two.
I was about to say
Yeah.
this is why we
8
called him
years ago.
the expert.
I only read the first two.
That's
But-
still an accomplishment.
Yeah, those
Yeah,
books
they're
are long.
They're long, but they're good. They're good.
Mm-hmm.
Something that might come to surprise to many of y'all is in the entirety of Game of Thrones, many people will think that the main character is Jon Snow. But that's not true. The main character of the whole thing is Ned Stark.
Why is that?
I mean, everything.
Because he is the catalyst that starts the whole story.
Yeah.
I don't think
With his
Because he saves Jon Snow.
Yeah.
So, and
I
Jon
think
Snow.
there may be a difference between main character and like catalyst.
Yeah, I think he can. I don't think he can be considered the main character, but it's like I think the catalyst.
He's definitely the most important factor.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, I think
between
John Aaron.
Between John Aaron, Ned
Well,
Stark,
he's only important because he dies.
but it still sets off the events of the
Yeah.
show. John Aaron dying, Ned Stark finding out about the incest, and then Jaime Lannister pushing Bran out of the tower.
Mhm.
Those three events are the three things that basically just started up the whole fucking show. Like, without those three things, it's just like everything's chugging along
I was
until
about
the
to
walkers
say-
come.
I was about to say,
Like-
imagine a universe in which they don't push him out of the window.
Yeah, really, those
John-
other two things could have happened.
Like, he goes to someone else. He doesn't go to Ned to become the Hand of the King.
Yeah.
And it's like the Winterfell kids just grow up in Winterfell. Like, no one ever... They're just like, oh, yeah, the White Walkers. And then everyone just gets murked. So, like,
if you really think about it, if Ned decided not to confront Cersei about how he knew that she's been
yeah.
Yeah.
that all of Robert Baratheon's sons are actually just Jaime Lannisters,
yeah.
then what you just described probably would have happened.
That's just interesting. Like,
Yeah.
Because
Really, it's just if one of those three things didn't happen.
damn. I'd love to just go through all the timelines. Like,
alternate timelines.
One thing I want more than anything
that's
else,
what Bran's doing.
Little,
He's
yeah,
just like,
little off topic, but one thing I want more than anything else is just I want to see like a Robert's Rebellion movie.
I think that was one of the things that they said they were going to make after this show ends.
Yeah, but a firmly established prequel that they are going through with is going to be like 1,000 years in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So I want a you don't even need to
That'll
make a
be like
full-on
Bran
show.
the Builder, right?
I think so.
Because Bran the Builder built the wall.
No, I
Right.
think Bran the Builder was like 10,000 years ago.
I have no clue. I just know it's way before
Yeah.
the main show.
But no, I just want to see like all the like in every great story there's always like the prequel that you never get to see.
Yeah, yeah.
You know? And so I think within Game of Thrones it's obviously Robert's Rebellion. I just want to see that so bad. I want to see that play out. I want to see all the big moments.
Whenever you see young Ned, that was a very good moment. Like,
Yeah.
because it's like you finally get to see something from, and that fight scene is super badass. Where he
With
fights
what's the dude's name?
The Son. I think his name's the Son.
Oh,
And he fights with two swords.
He's considered like the best like fighter
Yeah,
in
and
all
he was
of Game
about
of
to
Thrones.
kill Ned.
He
And
would have
then
done it
someone
if
else.
fucking
Was-
Mira's
Arthur
dad.
Dane is his name.
Arthur Dane.
Arthur Dane, yeah,
Was it?
Sir
Is
Arthur
he?
Dane.
Is like the Knight of the Sun or something like
Yeah,
that?
he's got some badass nickname.
Huh.
But
Whatchamacallit?
yeah, then you've got what's it? Something Reed. We were talking about him before
John
the
Reed?
podcast.
Or something Reed. Oh my God.
The guy that we were talking about. He stabs Arthur Dane through the neck,
Okay. Yeah.
like from the back, right as he's about to kill Ned Stark. And Ned Stark is like fucking insane himself. Like,
Oh yeah.
Ned Stark was taking on Jaime Lannister with like one leg. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a bad motherfucker. I can definitely respect him being a favorite character. I just feel like there's so much other screen time with other characters that it's like it's hard not to get attached to other ones.
Yeah.
So do you want to?
Yeah, I'll go
say your
next.
favorite?
Favorite character. I feel like he's an underrated one, but Davos Seaworth.
Dude, I'm about to have to change mine. I freaking love Davos.
He's the fucking Onion Knight. He is my favorite character. Like, I don't know, because he's just so, like, upfront and honest about everything.
Yeah.
And he's got that Ned Stark, like, honorability about him, like, where he's just, like, so insane. Like, even to the point where it's detrimental to him sometimes. Like, he's so honorable.
When you were talking about the most emotional scenes, the scene where he confronts Melisandre about burning the little girl at the stake, that scene I, like, went back and rewatched a couple months ago, and, like, once again, I had, like, tears in my eyes. Like, it's, like, because he actually cared for that little girl. It's, like, you see so many characters in the show that are just terrible scoundrels, and it's, like, oh, my God. Like, just go watch that scene and try not to feel some type of emotional stirring inside of you. Like, that guy can act his ass off.
He's so, like, insanely loyal, but almost everyone he's been loyal to until Jon Snow is just, like...
a chump.
A piece of shit. Like, he was just, like... Well, really, it was just, like, Stannis. But, like...
Yeah.
He was just trying to, like, be, like, as good as he could for Stannis, and Stannis was just, like, listening to Melisandre and, like, making all these dumbass moves, and he's like, please, like, stop being a fucking idiot. And he was the only one that, like, had the balls to say that.
Yeah.
Little tangent. Can we talk about how fucking dumb Stannis is? How he declared war on legit almost every family in the realm.
Wait, when did he do this?
War of Five Kings?
Yeah, right before he killed before he killed his brother.
Davos?
No, Stannis.
Oh,
When
I
he
thought
killed
you
Renly?
said how stupid Davos is.
No, he said how stupid Stannis is.
Oh, well then I'm deaf.
He declared war on his brother, on the Lannisters, on the Starks.
Yeah.
He essentially declared war on pretty much everybody.
Yeah, that's like
And then he loses the war, and he's like, "What the fuck happened, dude?"
that's like Australia being like U.S., UK, just like fuck y'all, let's do this, and then just like what?
Okay.
So okay, you want to get fucking wiped off the map?
But you do have to feel for him because
He-
Stannis did have the rightful claim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had, and so I think that's like probably why he was so willing to just be like, fuck everybody. Was because like Renly didn't have a fucking claim. Like even though Renly had like the support of the Tyrells, like way more money and a way bigger army, like he just didn't have. Stannis just didn't have the support, even though he was the rightful king. Like,
I mean, in this universe, I don't think if the wrong people are in power, the real right doesn't even really matter.
the rightful king is Ned fucking Stark, but
is he?
not. Well, he had.
Oh, he would have been the best king.
But
like,
I think it was when he had the opportunity. It was Jaime Lannister had the opportunity to sit on the throne. Jaime Lannister turned it down after he killed the Mad King.
And that would have gone to Ned.
And yeah, Ned Stark was the first one after.
Oh,
Jaime
because he's
Lannister.
like the hand of the king.
Well,
right.
no, because what happened? So during Robert's Rebellion,
Okay.
so Jaime Lannister kills the Mad King, right? So they always talk about it. Jaime Lannister could have easily just sat on the throne himself and declared himself king. Because the whole thing is just like, apparently it was, if you sit on this fucking chair, you're the king. Like, that's
Really?
the only parameter right now. Because they were just like,
Yeah.
fuck, we didn't plan who was going to be king after this. We just wanted him gone. So it was like, Jaime Lannister could have declared himself king, and he could have been like, I killed the king. Like,
I
fuck,
wonder
I'm
how
the king.
that universe would be.
Yeah. And then after that, Ned Stark was the first one to find him. Ned Stark could have sat on the throne and made himself king. That's
just not his style.
Yeah.
He
And then
would
he
never do
turned it
that.
down, and then Robert became king.
Yeah, which fits perfectly. Like,
Yeah, it fits
he
his
said,
fucking
"Fuck it, I'll
personality.
do it."
But like
The
Robert
only main
addresses the
character
fact.
who doesn't get killed by another main character.
He gets killed by a fucking boar.
Pig. I died from pig.
I thought they said that he didn't get killed by a pig. He was just so drunk that he thought he did. He actually got like.
No, like the boar's tusk went into his stomach.
Yeah.
I thought they said something about how they, because it was a murder.
Was it? I mean,
Yeah.
Isn't he like in the hospital
I
bed and
think-
they're like talking to him?
But he
He
was
w-
just like absolutely pissed, like blackout drunk. So I think Cersei even says like Cersei talks about
I'm
murdering him.
sure. Like that makes more sense than an actual
Yeah.
pig killing him, but that's all I really remember from that. It's just like, yeah, a boar was involved.
Yeah.
But
If Ned Stark would have just taken the throne, none of this would have happened.
So
everyone would just die from the White Walkers, man.
So can I go on with my favorite character?
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. Davos Seaworth.
Davos was my other choice, and he was who I was talking about earlier as far as like really good-natured dudes.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of them, or like Jorah. Jorah Mormont is one of my favorites too, but of the good side. But the character that I just love to see on screen, and that if he makes it through the show, I'll be very, very happy. That is Bronn.
Braun's gonna sit on
Bronn
the
is one of my favorite characters. Because
sellsword to count, is that what he is now, or a duke?
Well, yeah, and then he was gonna marry like this super high up like princess or like duchess or something like that. And then Jaime was like, "Fuck you! If you come with me to Dorne, like I'll make you like an even higher up."
And then you get a buddy cop version of the show where it's him and Jaime up in Dorne, which is a lot of people's like least favorite stretch of the show.
Really?
Yeah. No, a lot of people hate the Dorne storyline.
I don't like the Sand Snakes, but okay, I don't like the Dornish, but specifically that storyline I loved.
Really?
Yeah.
There's so much I don't remember about it. It's
the Dornish, they're like just every actor except Oberyn Martell is just like way too over the top for me.
They're there to get Jaime's daughter, right?
Yeah, they're there to get Marcella because she's like flinging it around with
the prince.
Yeah, the Prince of Dorne's.
I don't remember his name.
Yeah,
I don't
the
know
guy
his
that
name
just sits in the wheelchair all day.
Oh, that's
Oberyn Martell.
No,
that's not Oberyn. It's Oberyn's brother, his older brother.
Yeah, who's like the actual king, and then the prince is like the guy that's in love with.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they're allowed to.
Got it.
And he gets poisoned, I think, or stabbed or something.
Who?
The prince. No, the prince.
The prince. Yeah, I think he gets poisoned
on the
along
boat,
with him.
and then Marcella.
Because the Sand Snakes are like his bloodline is weak, so we're gonna kill his son too. No, they both get poisoned.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, like Jaime finally tells Marcella that like he's her father, and she's like, I already knew, and like they have this like honestly really touching like father daughter moment,
and then
she just
fucking
dies.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't know. Like, ever since I first saw Bronn, it's like you see him develop the relationship with Tyrion, and he's such a funny, like, he's one of the only characters that's like, he would leave everything. It's like once the White Walkers come, he's like, fuck this, I'm getting on a boat and just like going across the narrow sea. Like, he's just out for himself, and it's like, he's not noble at all, but even though I feel like
he's a little noble.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's like
he saved Jaime from getting burned by the dragon.
It's like
I'd say honorable, not noble. But honorable.
Once people develop a relationship with him, he's like, okay, I'll kind of look out for you. Mm-hmm. But it's like it's mainly about him. Yeah, like he's only looking out for him.
Like he hooks Tyrion up, he hooks Jaime up. Like he takes care of his homies.
Yeah. Well, it's because Tyrion hooked him up. Like. Yeah. And, like, such a good way to introduce a character. Like, they're in, whatchamacallit, the Knights of the Vale's place.
It's called, like, the Sky Garden or something like
that? Yeah, and they got the big hole, and it's like, all right, this midget's about to have to fight. And he's like, can this dude fight for me? And then, like, that's how he gets introduced.
I forgot that he's from the Eyrie.
Yeah. He's from there?
Well, at the very least, like, he lived there for a while.
He's a sellsword, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's from there or if he was just hired.
He was just there. I just forgot that's where he, like, debuted.
Yeah.
I would seriously take just a young Bronn show, and it's just about him taking contracts and just, like, his life way before he meets Tyrion. Yeah. That could be... I mean, there's so many shows.
Jerome Flynn is what makes that character good. Like,
of course.
I'm not sure that any other actor could step into that and create quite that same magic that could carry its own show.
He is definitely an aspect of why I like the character so much. He,
also the only white person on Earth named Jerome.
Wow. But yeah. So, can I just bring up a specific moment that's probably in my top 10 favorite moments of the show?
Yeah.
This is just a standout moment to me, and it's probably my favorite ending of any episode. And it's just whenever it's the only time they don't end the credits with dun, 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 once the credits are rolling. Mm-hmm. It's just when when Jamie gets his hand cut off. It's like they like put his hand on there and they just cut it off, and it's like, and then it's just silent and he's just looking at his hand, and then he just starts screaming, and then it just cuts to like hard rock, and it's like that is like one of the best. That's one of the best. I that's another one of those moments I had to just take it back and just rewatch
I forgot. It just cuts to like almost like metal.
Yeah, it's like yeah, no, it's just like punk rock, like it's like. And
I don't remember.
It's
that.
very
I need to go back and
disturbing.
watch that.
It's very disturbing, like because it looks so real. He just puts it on there because like they're like, I think he's under their custody or something, and he keeps mouthing off, and they're just like, we're taking this fool's hand, and it's like it's Jaime Lannister. He's like the best sword in the West, and it's like, get one of your main assets to sword fighting stolen. You know, which obviously leads into him becoming a better character, just because it's like
his
he has to
redemption
deal
arc
with.
is just awesome.
He's one of the best characters in the show.
He's turned into one of my favorite characters.
But it's hard to say that because there's so many characters that are like, that's one of the best characters in the show.
But what about the like real love triangle of Jaime, Brienne, and Tormund?
I feel like they're gonna do something tragic with Brienne and Jaime. Like something is gonna happen between them. Either something tragic, or they're gonna have a beautiful reunion and like both die or something. I don't know. I feel like they have to do something. Something they have to bookend their relationship on something. Like happening.
I feel like Jaime's gonna die.
Yeah, no, everyone thinks Jaime's gonna die.
That would be very fitting to his character.
I think so too.
No, if he like sacrifices himself, that'd be perfect.
Yeah.
But how much of the they got to be dropping like 5 characters each episode this next season.
I mean, it depends on how many are going to survive. Like, some major characters are going to die.
Yeah.
But like it just depends on like how many they want to survive. If they're going to drop like all but like 3 characters, then yeah, they're going to have to be going like 5 characters an episode. But like,
well, I'm thinking that the characters that they're going to drop and get rid of, it's all going to happen within the same episode.
Battle of Winterfell?
The giant battle.
Yeah.
I feel like they don't usually drop major characters in battle scenes, though.
Yeah, but they need to have like more significance. If it's a significant character, you don't want to just see them get stabbed in a second and then the camera pans away and then more battle. It's like
it might be like later in the battle,
they
like
might
Stannis
do
style.
I can't. This is one of those shows where it's like I really can't tell you what they're gonna do or not do. Yeah. It's like it's all on the table.
There are a few aspects. It's like Jon Snow's gonna ride a dragon.
Yeah,
of course.
Like the night. Okay, there are a few guarantees, but like other than like those 3 or 4 storylines that are gonna finally come to fruition, it's like it's really just open game.
Yeah. And that's the best part. Like that's why I'm so happy to be a part of this. Like anybody who's like
this is like television history.
Yes, it's like anybody who's just like, oh, I don't want to watch that. It's like
you're missing out.
Yeah, you're missing the fuck out. Like this is seriously, if you're listening to this, try to just binge before and then get a Hulu. I mean, you can always go back and rewatch it. But it's like I want to watch it with the world, and I'm gonna watch it with
y'all trying to like have Game of Thrones like watch parties or something?
Sure,
dude, I'll do that.
I'm so down.
Yeah,
because like Sunday nights.
Yeah.
Like I have HBO. I'm watching these as they come out. I'm not gonna get this shit spoiled for me on Twitter while I wait for it to come up on like torrent streams or something like that.
I would have to. So when I was in Greece, that's whenever I watched episode 7, or at least the last couple episodes, I think. And like the time difference, y'all were seeing it before us, I think. So I just didn't check my phone the whole day.
Like 8 hours before or something like that?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's why I'm so like intent on seeing like end game, like opening night. Because if I don't see it opening night, it's going to get spoiled in some way.
There's a chance, but I'm willing to take that chance.
Not me.
I'm probably going to see it like the day after. Because I hate opening nights. Opening nights always have... Every single time I've been to an opening movie, there's always just somebody in the crowd that is very distracting.
Yeah. I just like...
You're watching this at your home, though. What are you talking about?
No, not Game of Thrones. Like Endgame.
Yeah.
Marvel Endgame.
Is that what we're talking about now?
Well, no.
We kind of switched to that. We switched to that.
I
for a
just
second.
briefly brought it up.
I think we've kind of exhausted the whole endgame topic for a couple podcasts.
Yeah. We don't.
The last like 3, we've talked about it at least a little bit.
Yeah, no. That was not meant to go into like a whole big
Yeah.
spiel. Just like briefly bring it up, but no, yeah. Game of Thrones. I thought I was gonna say something there, and then I just didn't. But
when do y'all think the Wolves are gonna the Mega Pack? Do y'all know what I'm talking about?
Oh shit! Led by Arya's.
Yeah.
What's
I don't remember the dog's
There's
name.
only 2 wolves left.
Really?
Yeah, all the other ones died.
That must have been
So
all off
it's-
screen. In season that can't be because in
Sansa's.
No,
no,
in
listen.
That isn't. Those aren't all dire wolves.
Yeah.
That's one
That's
dire
one
wolf and a
dire
bunch
wolf
of other
leading
wolves.
in the book, isn't it in the book like that dog goes around and creates a mega pack? That's like I've heard that multiple times.
I don't think that's happened because those were all like regular wolves.
Yeah.
Whatever Arya's wolf's name was,
I mean,
was
fuck it.
obviously like 40 times bigger
Yeah.
than any other wolf that was there.
Hey, the thing is, they can take anything. They can, they'll take anything into this final battle. It's
Yeah.
like,
Especially considering.
especially if it's a fuckload of wolves.
Yeah,
like,
I think that will make an appearance because
Yeah.
I think they're going to be pretty good about tying up loose ends.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know, so I think
If they leave anything on a cliffhanger,
Who's the-
what the fuck?
what's the other dire wolf that's alive?
That's John's.
Ghost is still
Where-
alive.
Yeah, where is he?
Yeah,
He's at Winterfell.
he's at Winterfell.
Oh,
Okay,
he's big chilling.
yeah.
He wasn't at Battle of the Bastards though. Which was
Yeah,
weird.
that's because you don't see him that often.
Oh, you know what?
What?
You don't see
wasn't,
any of the dogs often.
Yeah.
Like they all, you just see a couple of them die, and then
Hold
or
up.
like the aftermath of them dying.
What if-
Where was?
What if like all the wolves that die are like symbolic of the characters that are gonna die? So like
Well, I mean, Sansa's wolf died like.
she
Sansa may die.
Maybe that's a
seasons
spoiler.
ago.
Yeah, she died like
I mean-
season 2, but maybe that's like a spoiler. Like
And what's his face?
Sansa's gonna die.
What's his face? The Stark that was the king in the north before Jon.
Rob.
Rob, he died, and they put his wolf's head
That
on
shit
top
was
of his
gruesome.
body on a horse, like riding down the thing, because he
Yeah.
was like the wolf king.
Yeah.
Dude, I've some of the best like Game of Thrones fan artwork I've seen was based off of that. I'll show you later. It's
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ben. I'll appreciate that.
But do y'all want to get into some theories?
Yeah. What do y'all think about the theory that Arya is already dead? That she was killed by the waif at the end of season 6.
I need more explanation on this. Like, that the
So-
waif is in her place. That Arya is not Arya.
Yeah.
I don't. That's what I'm saying. I don't believe it. It's interesting, but I don't believe it. That would be kind of whack. Why would
it'd
the
be
waif
kind
go
of-
kill the Frey?
Because she obviously knows about who she is. She knows her past.
See,
But
that's
that was
too out of
Arya's
it.
mission. Like Arya did that because of the Red Wedding.
Yeah.
So it's kind of I don't.
I
know
feel like
why. That's just
The only I would say it would be to stay in character.
I think at the time,
But what?
The
War
theory
what?
was okay.
Freys aren't gonna ever talk about that. Like that would be to stay in character for herself.
yeah,
like
that doesn't,
make any sense.
That doesn't make any sense. Why she went back to Winterfell in the first place? Did she just really want to live as Arya Stark?
I don't
Arya
know.
Stark?
I just think it's a very interesting theory.
I mean, yeah,
I'm
I
not
just
a
don't.
staunch defender.
I
of this
think when it
theory.
first came out, the theory
But-
came out. Yeah, sure. But I think especially from last season,
Yeah.
I think that's a lot.
Yeah, like look at her
The big
reaction to
hole
like
in
seeing
it-
Sansa. Like whenever
Yeah.
she meets Jon, it's like that's not the waif
Yeah.
responding.
The
to
big
it.
hole in it is obviously just like motivation.
And
of
then
just,
I
like,
think especially
why
when
would she care?
when she meets her wolf again,
Yeah, yeah. Arya's like, oh my god, where have you been?
that wolf would have
Yeah,
beaten the shit out of her if that wasn't her. You know.
yeah.
Yeah, because they have a psychic connection. It's like you're impersonating my fucking previous owner.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna murk you now.
So I'm gonna eat you.
Yeah.
But Yeah, so I know you. Do you have any theories, or have you heard any interesting theories?
Let's see.
I don't know.
Is Tyrion a Targaryen?
No.
I don't know. I
doubt that.
I've heard. I've just heard that he's the Mad King's son as well. But that was like a long time.
Yeah,
ago.
that's would make him a Targaryen.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, like...
Yeah. Because there were two, like, coinciding theories that Jon Snow is a Targaryen, which turned out to be true, and that Tyrion was a Targaryen, which hasn't really manifested itself yet, but looks doubtful now, because the whole thing was about
the
there being
three-headed dragon.
Targaryens for the three dragons. Now that one of the dragons is the Night King's... I think I believed it before that dragon died, but afterwards I don't think it's true.
Like, I haven't put strong beliefs in any theory. It's just kind of like, maybe, like...
Kind of makes sense.
I'm going to find out, so, like... I'm
like
just going to find out.
Kind of said, like, I don't think I'm a staunch, like, defender of any of these theories.
Yeah, because it could go either way. If someone's out there and they're like, no, this is how it has to go, it's like... Come on, man.
So people who are like very like take hardline fan theory stances are who ruin like movies.
Yeah, I agree.
Shows and stuff.
I don't like most fan theories. The most of them are like very stupid. Like there are some where it's like, damn, that's interesting, but it's like a lot of them. It's like, no, that's not true. Like that will never be true. You can think about it and it's cool, but like, if you take that seriously, it's like.
Yeah. Well,
what do you do?
The big one I always think of when it comes to like fan theories like spiraling out of control is just the whole thing is like with Star Wars Episode 8, it's like, who is Snoke? Who is Snoke? And then like they make it very clear it's like it doesn't fucking matter who Snoke is, and then everyone
That's just
like
because
loses their shit.
Ryan
like,
Johnson.
I thought Mace Windu was gonna be Snoke.
Ryan Johnson just shitted on that, but I do feel like there was some type of. I don't want to get too deep into Star Wars, but it's like I feel like there was some reason. Like after Episode 7, it's like there's something behind Snoke, but then it just turns out that there was nothing.
I liked that though. Like I wasn't necessarily laughing when that happened because it wasn't like funny, but I was like smiling. I was like, "Fuck yeah!" Like like all those theories, just fucking kill him. Like they did that with a lot. Last thing I'm gonna say about it with Rey's parents too. They did that there because they were like. Oh yeah, like you think Rey's parents are like you think she's Obi-Wan's granddaughter or anything? No, fuck you. Like she's literally nobody.
That's awesome.
Like I loved that he did that.
All right, so have you thought of any theories of how this end game is gonna go?
Ooh.
Like how events are gonna unfold?
Or I guess
who's gonna sit on the Iron Throne?
Really, like
who do you think's gonna sit on the Iron Throne? Like if you had to make a prediction,
it's gonna be both Jon Snow and Daenerys.
So you think they're both gonna?
They're gonna marry. That's how it's gonna end.
Even. I mean, they're gonna figure out their aunt and nephew, right? And they're just gonna be like, "Fuck it."
Yeah.
But their kids are gonna be inbred, so a whole new line of inbred Starks.
That's the way it needs to be.
Incest.
Or it has to end with either Jon or Daenerys on the throne.
Yeah.
Or maybe they both die.
I was about to say, I'd like to believe that they're willing to have the balls to like.
They most definitely.
Every main character giving their life to save the world.
Just Bronn is on the Iron Throne.
What would be your serious reaction if everyone loses and the Night King?
It all depends on
and
how
the
they
Night
do.
King.
Yeah, they'd
sits
obviously
on the
have to show some sort of motive for the Night King.
What if they don't?
Then that's just shitty writing.
And then the White King come and kill everybody at the end.
That's just that would be like the worst ending in TV history. Like there would be riots.
You said there's a theory about the Night King being a Stark, right?
Yeah, so
he must have been a very
I can
early
elaborate
Stark.
on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can elaborate.
Please.
Like I know the basics.
What a lot of people are thinking is the main motive for the White King. The reason they're thinking that he's a Stark is because he has such an infatuation with Bran Stark, the wheelchair kid.
Yeah, dude, he was like tripping and he like looked and knew that he was viewing.
Bran has a mark on his arm given to him from the White King.
Damn.
and that allows him to track Bran wherever he is.
Oh shit!
Which, like, if you recall back to when
do you think? But do you think Bran might end up on the Iron Throne?
He's not even Bran anymore. I'm the three-eyed raven.
God, he's such a bitch.
Dude, he's so
I don't like him, but I do like his abilities. Like being Professor X is
I get the significance of his character and his powers, but at the same time, it's like, shut the fuck up. Like,
you were so pretty on the night of your wedding.
Yeah, he is very creepy now.
I think
it was snowing just like this.
Lyra
is like almost raped, or did she get raped on the night of the wedding?
Yeah.
I thought. Wait, are you talking about the wedding to what's his face? I was thinking the wedding to Tyrion. The wedding to Tyrion. Tyrion was like, "Look,
Tyrion's a good guy, man."
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. He was like, "Look,
he is sweetheart."
Yeah. But anyways,
back to what I was saying. If I forget what season it is, I want to say season 6, where Bran finally made it. They call it the Weirwood Tree. And that's where the previous three-eyed raven was, with all the children of the forest. They were kind of like elves.
Weirwood trees are just those types of trees that have the faces in them.
Yeah.
Do they all have the same like properties, or is it just one? Well, the one that they went to was the one where the Night King was created, right? I'm pretty sure that's the tree where like the little imps put the thing in his chest, and he turned into the Night King. That's what I heard.
I'm not too sure about that.
Maybe. I don't know.
Because the three-eyed raven was in that weirwood tree, and he was like, "Yeah, no White Walker or White can get here because we have this high magic that surrounds us."
Yeah.
And then when Bran did his little kind of like astral projection and saw all of the White Walkers just lined up in columns, and he was like, "Whoa, what is this?" And then the White King saw him and grabbed his arm and marked him.
Yeah. So
like through an astral projection, it harmed his actual body.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he had this mark on his arm, it was like a few days later, all of the White Walkers came to the Weirwood Tree, and they were able to break through.
And that's what the Hodor hold the door. Yeah. Okay.
That moment, by the way, was holy fucking shit.
How can you not?
Like, I had it spoiled for me that Hodor was gonna die, but like that specific moment,
I thought
like where he's just having like a fucking like ghostly seizure or whatever you want to call that shit, like, and he's just like, Hodor, hold the door, hold the door, hold the door.
I thought he was gonna end up on the Iron Throne, man.
Hey, man.
What if George R. Martin ends up on the Iron Throne?
So okay,
he's like the Wizard of Oz. He's like sitting in the back.
I think I like briefly brought this up earlier, but there are betting odds, like Vegas betting odds on who's going to end up on the Iron Throne, and I couldn't remember how it went, but I found them. Okay. So the favorite right now is actually Bran. Bran is a minus 150 favorite to sit on the Iron Throne. Then everyone else is like significantly behind Bran.
Damn.
Like after that, it's Jon.
That'd be real interesting.
A lot of people.
Jon is at plus 600. Sansa is at plus 800. Jon and Daenerys' potential child.
Sansa being on the throne would.
That'd be fucked, dude. The world would be fucked.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if that's how they end the show, the final shot is her like sitting on the throne. I'd be like,
man, this is some bullshit.
Okay, so Bronn made the list. Bronn is at plus 10,000.
If Bronn ends up, I will literally, I will go streaking.
So Night King,
I'll just run off the house.
Night King and Tyrion are both at plus 1,000. Daenerys is at plus 1,200. So Daenerys is like 7th on the list.
Like that'd be funny.
She doesn't. I don't
know. Gendry is after that. Then
Gendry.
Arya. Well, Gendry also
does. Podrick's gonna end up.
Gendry has a claim.
Yeah. He's Robert's bastard, right?
Yeah. Arya is after Gendry, then Cersei, then Samwell Tarly.
Dude, that'd be badass.
Yeah.
Samuel Tarly's he's a G.
I love him.
He is a G, but
he's killed more White Walkers than anybody else in the show so far. he has two White Walker kills.
Everyone's like, you didn't kill a White Walker.
And
yes, I did.
Jon has one.
Yeah.
Samuel Tarly has fucking 2.
Yeah, don't underestimate Samuel
He killed 2 White Walkers, and then he lost all of the dragon glass that he was carrying.
Dumbass.
Then after Sam, it's Jaime, then Davos. I'd love to see that. But
Davos deserves it.
He deserves it, but he won't. Yeah. Then after Davos, it's Bronn, Theon, and the Hound are all tied.
There has to be a thematically, like, if anyone, whoever's going to sit on the throne, it has to be, like, thematically right.
That's what, I don't think Bran is going to be on the throne, because he's... Yeah. He doesn't even call himself Bran anymore.
That's the thing that confuses me about that, is that he refuses his titles. So, like...
Yeah,
wasn't he saying, like, I can't be a lord of the North because I'm no longer...
If he survives, he's just going to end up being like an advisor.
He's going to be like the Grand Maester almost.
Pretty much.
What I guess. But, I mean, I would
hope... Or go to the library, the giant library that Sam went to. Is that what you were talking about?
Well, that is where, like, the Meisters train. But the Grand Meister is, like, right now... Like, it was Pycelle at the beginning, and then now it's that creepy-ass dude that brought the mountain back to life.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like...
Okay. I feel like he's just going to be the ultimate educational person in the world. Yeah. Like, he's like, I just have the whole timeline of our entire world.
Yeah, so... I don't know. I think, right now, I wouldn't really put anything off the table, but I do definitely think that, like... I would think Jon would be like the odds-on favorite.
Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously, but I wouldn't mind having Jon on the throne.
Yeah. I would think it would be like Jon, Daenerys, and Tyrion would all, because I feel like those are the main three characters of the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I feel like after them, those three are like the top tier.
I kind of want. Well, y'all know how from the trailer. Is that the season 8? No. You know how from the trailer I was talking about how you had what's the big dragon's name? Drogon.
Yeah.
How he had the Iron Throne smelted down. It looked like he was wearing it as armor on his head.
Yeah.
So what I'm kind of thinking is possibly there is no more Iron Throne at the end of the series.
There's still going to be,
and they started democracy,
and there's going to be a
no.
And there's going to be, instead of just the Iron Throne, this is going to be king and queen. And that's what I was thinking. Maybe Jon and Daenerys being king and queen, and then Tyrion being the hand of the king.
Yeah.
That's my ideal ending, but that sounds a little too good to be true.
Yeah, I was about to say,
they have to do something that's a little bit...
Out of those three main characters, I think one of them is going to die at least.
Yeah. Damn.
My bet is Daenerys, just because that'd be fucking hilarious. You've built her up this entire time.
One goal the entire series if she doesn't get it.
Like, she's the only person, besides, like, Cersei. It's like her, Cersei, and, like, Littlefinger are the only ones that are, like, very open about, like, I'm going to take the fucking throne. Like, stop me. And, like,
one of them's dead already.
Yeah.
Littlefinger was never going to make it. I felt like that whole season, I was like, he's got...
Littlefinger was the one that set all those events in motion. Littlefinger was the one that killed Jon Arryn, and he was the one that suggested that Ned Stark...
Damn, he's the main character.
Littlefinger's influence, like, you find... I think it's in season 6 or season 7. You find out, like, Littlefinger's influence literally is what built what the show is today.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think people kind of slept on him as a threat, but I'm also very glad he's dead.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I like, his death wasn't even that satisfying for me. It just felt like, it was just like, okay, cool, finally it's over. Because, like, at the end of season 6, Arya gets to Winterfell, and then it's like, the Battle of Bastards happened, but then it's like, Littlefinger is in, whatchamacallit, and, like, that season ended, and I was like, ugh, like, I have to sit here knowing that that little rat is just like
snake
just in there. Around. It's like
he's even got that bitchy little mustache.
I don't know. He had a pretty fire mustache.
It fit the character.
But compared to like all the other other facial hair in the show, it's just like such a bitch amount of facial hair.
Okay,
which I can't talk because I can't grow facial hair.
Best beard in the show?
Mine.
Shut up, Jake.
I'd say
the Hounds.
The Hound?
Half burnt beard.
Nah, I'm gonna say the red-headed wildling.
Oh,
Tormund. Is that Tormund?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tormund Giantsbane.
That's his last name?
That's his last name.
Giantsbane, that's badass.
Yeah. Well, all the giants are fucking dead now. So
they're whites now.
Yeah, they're dead.
Yeah, R.I.P. to that one.
The Liam Neeson looking giant.
Yeah.
They all look like Liam Neeson.
Well, how many do you even see?
I think you see
There's
like
three.
2 or 3.
There's
yeah.
3
Oh,
that you
okay.
see.
Because 2 of them
The
die.
last of the giants. There was just
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
2 of them die in the battle at the wall.
Yeah, and then the last one becomes a white.
The last one dies at Battle of the Bastards.
Yeah, the last one dies in battle.
I thought one of them is a white.
Well, you do see giant whites, but there's like you see a lot of giant whites.
They got wiped out. They were the first to get wiped out.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Because I think they live like the
Because they were
farthest
slow
north.
as hell.
Yeah.
Which is terrifying to think that those
Giants.
I mean, 2 giants broke down through the giant wall. What is
The
it?
ice wall?
The ice. You know the giant ice wall.
Yeah.
It only took 2 giants to break open that gate. The
Yeah,
several gates that were there.
I mean,
And
that
think
does
of
make
like
sense.
hundreds of these giants trying to fight these
Oh.
little whites, and they get murked on.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Like,
just like quantity. You know what I mean?
They had like tree trunks that they were using as weapons.
Yeah, that's like
So
one
that-
of
that
those
just-
dudes could take out like 1,000 whites.
That just puts it in a picture like how many whites there are. There's just
Yeah.
millions
Yeah.
of them.
Also, underrated moment when the giant is charging the gate and just like those 4
there's 4
like
watchmen.
yeah
No,
what fucking Knights Guard or whatever they're called.
Night's Watch.
Night's Watch.
Yeah, those 4 Night's Watch guys are all just sitting there at the gate like they're like holy
What
fucking
were
shit.
they were like
And the-
saying the vows too.
Yeah,
weren't
the
they? They were
giant is just like running full head of fucking steam at them.
Like,
and
stand together.
And it's just like, oh my fucking god! And then like you see them collide, and then like nothing
And then,
happens.
like 2 seconds later, the giant keeps running because it just stepped
So,
on.
so if
But-
they kill the Night King, will they take out his dragon too?
Well,
I'm
I'm thinking
The
if
theory,
the Night
yeah.
King dies, I think the entire
Everything.
army just
Eh,
dies.
yeah, everything just disintegrates.
That's
But
that's like a movie cliche, you know. It's like you kill the
Yeah.
main bad guy and they all drop. But like, I mean,
there's gotta be some sort
yeah,
of-
that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
You need a key to this. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? That it's like if we can do this one task.
Also, can we talk about how that motherfucker has an arm like Peyton Manning? Like
The javelin.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like someone get this man in the NFL. He just
perfect aim too.
yeah,
like
like-
perfect lead. Like
which makes me wonder, like, why didn't he just fucking kill everybody? If he has that good an aim, he obviously could have done it.
do you think he
He had to have wanted them to have survived for some reason.
do you think he has some sort of Bran-esque abilities? Like
Yeah,
because
Of course, well,
like-
that's how we touched Bran and
yeah,
that
that's what I'm
astral
saying.
projection.
Like, do you think he knows something about the timeline that like?
Well, he's also been alive for like 12,000 years.
Yeah, that's true. What's he been doing that whole time?
I don't
Just
know.
collecting babies
Yeah, what's
until
that
he
dude's-
felt comfortable with his
Yeah,
army.
Craster.
Craster. God, fuck Craster.
Oh yeah,
What
but
a
He has like
nasty
hundreds of
motherfucker.
daughters that he keeps fucking.
yeah, that's one of the first characters in the show that you meet that you're like, wow, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
Like,
There's a lot of characters like that though.
yeah, but what's his name? Jorah's dad is like, listen,
Gior.
Gior, yeah, he's like, listen, this guy helps us out. Don't say nothing. And John's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's also one of the first moments where you see like John is so like super willing to just like stand up to literally fucking anybody. Like
Yeah.
even if he's gonna confront like his boss, who he like respects the hell out of, and his boss treats him like his son.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's gonna confront him because he's like, hey, what you're doing is fucked up.
Yeah.
Like that's one of the first moments where you see like that like insane like integrity.
yeah.
I guess you would say that John has like.
And just willpower. I mean, how did y'all feel about the fact that they faked his death again? Like, I felt like that was kind of not needed. Like, in season 7, he falls in the water.
I feel like that was just there to
add some extra tension to the
get
episode.
rid of that plot hole of
Benji.
Uncle Benji.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. That was a little bit contrived, but it's also like...
I feel like that wasn't needed because I thought he died already.
Yeah, I mean, unless... It was a cool moment, I guess.
That was
but
a
also,
cool weapon. He had like a lantern on a chain.
Yeah.
It was just
Yeah, he's just fucking people up with it. Like, it was.
Do y'all think the other 2 dragons are gonna die, or...
I think
I think
at least
one
one
of
will
them has
survive.
to survive.
Yeah,
Probably Drogon.
I think it'll be the one that corresponds with whoever like the human lives. So like, let's see. I think Viserion was the one that died, and so it's Drogon is Daenerys's, and
Voltron is the other one.
Yeah, Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
Oh God,
the names would be so much different if I was in New Zealand.
Yeah, but yeah, the other one will survive if Jon survives, or maybe they both survive.
Damn.
But I don't know. I think there's just so fucking much that could happen. Like I almost want to see like them come out and be like, yeah, the Night King is the good guy. Like, or he has a good motive.
Yeah, I was about to say they
like,
have to.
He's not an evil person.
Yeah, like he's just.
Well, how could he? What he's doing?
He's justified for what he's doing.
What? I mean, he has killed a lot of innocent people and just turned them into like husks.
A lot of people.
That is kind of evil.
A lot of people are thinking that. So this isn't the first time the White Walkers have invaded Westeros before.
Yeah.
And that's why Winterfell was one of the last strongholds that remained throughout this entire invasion. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people believe that something in the crypts of Winterfell is what the White King is after.
Because you see, the very first teaser that they released for season 8 was it was Jon and Sansa and I think Arya were all in like the crypts of Winterfell, and they were visiting like Ned's statue, whatever thing. And like then you see like this icy fog come through, and another thing, you see the feather that Robert Baratheon left on Lyanna Stark's bust. Mm-hmm. You see that like fall to the ground. Like that's some ancient shit. That's from the first episode, and they didn't forget about that shit.
And a lot of people are thinking that possibly, the White Queen or something of that significance is trapped in the crypt.
So like Lyanna Stark, or
no? So like like the White King.
Yeah.
His wife.
So he's like coming to get her.
Yeah, or something of that significance.
Okay.
Or maybe like there's some type of item down there that will give evidence like who he is. Like like I'm a Stark. This is who I am.
Yeah. Maybe he's trying to
Will he be undead? He would have to be.
I don't know.
Like, I very much wouldn't be surprised to at least see that like the children of the forest are the bad guys.
Well, I think they're dead now, huh?
Well, they're dead now, but like they were the bad guys. I mean,
yeah.
Or like they could have potentially been.
I don't know. I mean, they would have to change a lot of stuff, like, because from what I know, it's like the reason they created the Night King was because the humans were taking their land and shit like that, right? Correct. Way
He was supposed to. I think he was supposed to be like a person.
They created him
that defended.
Yes, they created him to like defend them. I'm pretty sure. I know I've seen that in some type of video somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's implied. They talk about it in the show when they show the flashback of him getting stabbed in the heart.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, like what?
What the fuck? Was that dragon? I'm pretty sure it was dragon glass.
They just like put it into his heart, and like did they even say a spell, or did he just like become a White Walker?
He just became that shit. I'm sure they're just so magical. That's all they had to do. Just like boom, done.
I mean, if you just like came up to like Samwell Tarly and stabbed him in the fucking chest with dragon glass, would he turn into like the Night King or something? Like,
yeah, if he's already got dragon glass inside him, then why would more dragon glass kill him or Valyrian steel?
I
don't know, bro.
Yeah. And what is it about Valyrian steel that even makes it like super like versatile and like?
Well, cause it's an alloy made from dragon glass and like regular steel.
Okay.
It's like a mixture of it.
Okay. And it's made with dragon fire, right? Like
that's how it's smelted.
They smelt it.
Yeah, because I think you need dragon fire to smelt dragon glass.
I love that word. I don't know why.
Do you want to like just look up some theories and talk about it? Or do you just have more that you could bring up?
You got any?
Maybe not like these crazy conspiracy theories, but
well, just anything really.
I think something that's gonna play an integral role in this final battle is Melisandre.
Oh yeah, she's gonna come back. She's
right now she's in.
I just know she. I
forget.
Yeah, where is she?
All I know is that she
far.
left.
She went towards. This is across the narrow sea, like far past where the slavers are.
So you think she's in like?
She's in Essos.
She's in Essos. Okay, so kind of getting some deep lore here. You know, there's actually like there's Sothorios, which is like Africa.
Yeah.
So it plays, you know, like Westeros West, Essos East.
I was wondering why there's literally like
plays off of Africa.
There's like 3 black characters in the show.
Yeah, that's because they come from. I don't know if they even say Sothorios, but they say the Summer Islands, which like in the books and in the lore are part of Sothorios. There's also another one way the fuck off to the west or to the east.
The Far East.
Yeah, called Althos.
Yeah.
I want to see some shit from there come up.
Yeah.
Because I know
it's like Uncharted. It's like
yeah,
Christopher Columbus hasn't gone over there and mapped everything out yet. They don't know what the hell.
My theory is that Althos would basically be like Alaska, in the way that bridges over to Russia. But also, like, you see some shit like there's like the Shadowlands, which is where
that's in Essos. That's right above. Essos.
Yeah.
Y'all are getting into territory I don't even know.
That's where the dragon eggs came from, or no, they came from beyond the Shadowlands.
Yeah, they came from far out there.
Yeah.
Then who the fuck got the dragon eggs?
We don't know.
Or did the dragons just fly over there?
We don't know.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And then there's
a lot of like what you know from the TV show is only just a small fraction.
Yeah.
Of
yeah.
Like there's a Chinese empire called the Yi.
Yeah. The Yi.
I wasn't even laughing at that. I was just laughing at the fact that there's like so much to this fucking show. It's
it's just the lore. Like, find a fucking map of like the entire known Game of Thrones world. Mm-hmm. And it is insane. Like,
and it came from one guy. It's
like the amount of stuff that's just like unexplored and mysterious as shit out in the East is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, there's obviously a chance that they might bring up that and bring some type of plot device from those areas because it's unknown. It can be anything. It's kind of like they can bring something to help them out, or just
there's some stuff that's like. I can't say exactly, but like there's some really like badass descriptions of like what that shit is like. Like it's supposed to be like some kind of strange world where like there are theories that how you have White Walkers out there, you have like these walkers like gray walkers almost like made out of like volcanic ash and shit like that.
Damn, kind of like Grayscale.
Yeah, I guess.
Not really.
Like, it's like just way out the fuck east. There's so much crazy shit. I'd love to see like Melisandre come back and just like bring some like crazy Eastern shit with her.
Like giant like war elephants.
Yeah. I feel like she's either gonna bring something with her significant, or she's going to come back at a very significant moment, or maybe not. Maybe she'll just pull up in the downtime and just be like, "Hey, it's me."
Also, like
I got fire.
They just kind of revealed that she's like hundreds of years old, and then they were like, "Yep, she's old as fuck."
Had like the best boobs in the show, and then you're like, damn, she really saggy. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't, because like that was such like a shocking moment, and then like they just don't really bring it up ever again. Like there's nothing to it.
So this is kind of a smaller. This is only a piece. That's Westeros.
All right, listeners, are you getting a look at this?
We'll put a map up on the YouTube version.
So this is Westeros. There's the Iron Islands right down here.
Yeah.
Wait, that's Westeros?
Yeah,
that's a little smaller than Westeros is usually portrayed.
Yeah.
Well, compared to the Far East, it's not.
Okay, but no.
Wait, then
it's usually much bigger than that.
That's the Narrow Sea.
So that is Essos, right?
That's no, that's the Far East.
But that's all where like everything.
Essos is like in this general area over here.
That's not the map I've ever seen.
And then that's Althos is down here, which is like Africa.
Yeah, I was about to say this is like a weird. That's a different map than I've ever seen.
The one that I see is where Westeros is huge, and then where Daenerys does all her stuff is on to the right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like one of the older maps.
The older maps.
That's the maps they use in the show, though.
Shit? Yeah, it is. Which obviously the show is better than the books. So.
Yeah, who cares about books?
Yeah,
I don't read.
Reading's for nerds.
I haven't read anything.
That's why I haven't read the third book.
Yeah. I'm literally illiterate.
Oh. I mean,
how have you gotten
I was about to say, you edit all of our videos. Like, do you just kind of like...
Yeah, I just slap shit together and pray for the best.
You've learned the symbols. You don't know how to read them, but you know the symbols.
Yeah, I just type absolute like dog shit into Google Translate and it spits it back out.
Wow. Technology's so cool.
Yeah.
It can get an illiterate person to edit and do everything for a podcast.
Yeah.
And like you were texting me earlier. How did you do that?
Voice.
Oh, that okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, man. You know, I just say like, "Hey Siri, tell Trey to like."
Fuck
Trey
off.
to be over. That's what I was gonna say. It's a little
Fuck
vulgar.
Yeah.
But
Leave it to me to say the vulgar shit.
yeah, I don't fucking cuss.
Poo poo pee pee.
But no, like the pure amount of lore that goes into Game of Thrones is actually like.
Yeah.
I'd love to see some of the more Eastern shit, like some of the more Eastern
like
stuff.
the shadow binders and stuff.
Explained, yeah.
I mean, that's I think where the spin-offs can come in. But then again, I don't know, unless, besides like hardcore fans, I feel like a lot of people who are just watching it, once this ends, they're not going to be willing to be like, oh, this whole unrelated thing. Like, it's in the same world, but it's like an entirely
Recast,
different show.
Yeah.
You gotta link it in.
Yeah, you have to have some type of connection to the main storyline.
So, yeah, even though, like, the next series will take place, like, 1,000 years before.
Yeah, it's a direct precursor to everything. So it's like...
it's still gonna,
works.
like... You're still gonna see Starks. You're still gonna see...
Yeah.
I don't know if Targaryens were there yet, but, like, you'll see Starks and Baratheons and Tyrells and Lannisters and all that kind of shit.
Yeah, and they're definitely going to shed some light on some stuff that will make you look at stuff differently. Mm-hmm. That's, I mean, I don't know. Like... The
like, I want to see, like, some stuff about, like, the Cataclysm in Valyria.
What's that?
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that.
That's when... So Valyria is basically Rome in Game of Thrones.
Okay, who comes from there?
That's where the Targaryens are from.
Okay.
But the Cataclysm is basically just fucking Pompeii on steroids. And, like, it's the fall of Valyria. Like,
Is a volcano involved?
Yeah, it was just a massive volcano. That's why, like, when they're going through Valyria, it's just, like, in fucking ruins. And they're like, oh, it's the Cataclysm. Like, that's what the Cataclysm was. But... the Targaryens, their whole like clan, migrated to the island that
where
Daenerys uses now. What's it called? Dragonstone.
Dragonstone.
They all like migrated.
I was gonna say Dragon Keep or something.
I was gonna say Dragon Mountain.
They all migrated to Dragonstone.
Island Dragon.
So
Fortress.
the Targaryens and their dragons were the only things left of Valyria after all that went to shit, after the Cataclysm happened and it all blew up. And so then they were like, well, shit, we can't go that way anymore. And so that's why they conquered Westeros.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love how they just came up in that hoe.
Yeah, they were just like, we're really going to be out here and just fucking conquer an entire continent.
Because we got dragons and nobody has
you can't stop us.
Nobody's ever even seen these.
I was about to say, like, outside of the north of the wall, like, plain Westeros is just weak shit compared to everywhere else.
But they think they're the shit. Like,
I know.
They're all like doing their own squabbles, and then the Targaryens just pull up and they're like, yeah, we have giant lizards with wings that breathe fire. Like, you're fucked.
Like, all the mystical, nothing like cool and mystical comes from Westeros. Like, all the shit from Westeros is very like, you could do an entire show about Westeros and basically just pass it off as taking place in medieval times. Like,
yeah. Well, that's what I like about the show, is that it's fantasy, but it's not like usual fantasy where it's like everywhere you turn there's goblins
like
and
wizards
orcs and wizards.
It's very much rooted
minimalist
in actual history.
It's like minimalist fantasy.
Yeah.
Well, like, it's based off of an actual War of Five Kings is based off
the War of the Roses.
Yeah. And I think even then, like, some battles before and after are based off of other things. Like, the Andals and the First Men is based off of, like, the Anglos and the Saxons.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Who, like, not colonized, but, like, conquered, like, the British Isles.
Yeah.
So it's very much rooted in history, which is super cool.
You have to have some type of basis, unless
well, George R.R. Martin straight up said, like, when I was thinking of when I was first thinking of Game of Thrones, I said, what if I made England the size of South America and then added dragons?
Yeah. It's like, hey. I mean, Westeros even looks like the United Kingdom.
Yeah,
and like Scotland.
It's very much purposely done so in that way. It's very much supposed to be like the United Kingdom, and then that's all like the rest of Asia or the rest of Europe. It's very much more Asian in culture in the show.
Yeah.
Although you still do have like pockets of like Italian or like Roman, I guess, at the time, or even there's a Greek dynasty. If you look into the lore, there's like a Greek style dynasty in the show that goes back like thousands of years to even before the Valyrians.
Where are the rednecks at?
The rednecks.
We're the country boys.
I was about to say, we're the country boys and all
rednecks probably out.
We're the Cajuns
somewhere in Old Coast. That's what Melisandre's gonna bring back with her. It's just gonna
crawfish?
bring
a Rougarou.
Fucking an army of crawfish.
White Walkers don't stand a chance against the Rougarou, bro.
An army of crawfish in the snow.
Fucking massive crawfish, like Paleolithic era crawfish.
You make one giant ass crawfish, bro.
What I do hope is, because they talk about the first long night that came, there was like giant spiders and giant everything.
Let's see some of that shit.
We don't.
Like in a prequel show, that's what I'm saying. Like, bring some of that out.
Well, there might
pretty much do the first long night.
There might even be some of that in this upcoming battle.
Yeah.
We don't know.
No, that is true.
We don't know all what the White King has. We know he has bears.
Yeah, that's what freaking bears.
They got like zombified bears,
but
they got horses.
Horses,
they probably got sharks coming down too.
Yeah, I was about to say, imagine just like being like, oh, let's just go in water and fucking white sharks.
Greyjoy is gonna get his ass chomped up by a bunch of great white zombie sharks.
Do all
and crawfish, zombie crawfish.
Yeah, I mean,
get the Tony Chatouilles.
When they confronted like Cersei and Euron, they were like, Euron finds out about the shit and he's like, he fucks off. He's like, he nopes out basically. He's like, can they cross water? And he's like, they're all like, oh no, they can't. He's like, well, I'm going to the islands.
You do know that was a ruse that he did, right?
Yeah, they did show his shit.
That's true.
He's circling back around to fuck up shit.
But still, the reason I bring that up is because they were like, no, they can't cross water.
That we know.
What I was about to say, that they know. They will probably just freeze the water and then just walk.
That's something that the White King especially.
So the Night King's just fucking frozen.
And he has a dragon now. Just
essentially, because you know how like fire can kill whites.
Yeah.
But in that scene where the White King kills Daenerys' dragon,
yeah,
he legit just walks through the fire and the fire just dissipates because he's so cold that he puts out the fire.
Damn.
So they're gonna have to take some like.
It's gonna have to be Valyrian steel.
Yeah,
like.
Or somebody just goes up and challenges him to like one-on-one combat.
That's not gonna happen.
I was about to say,
dude,
that's not his style.
Jon Snow versus the Night King, like UFC style fight.
That has to happen, or it's going to be an unlikely character.
A what?
It's either going to be Jon Snow or an unlikely character that you weren't expecting.
I want
to see Arya Stark 1v1.
Really?
I wouldn't be surprised if it's like
with little stick, like
stick sword.
She has that dagger with Valyrian steel.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see like the Hound or Brienne.
Brienne was like...
One of them will fucking die. Like that, the first person to take on the Night King is going to die.
Both of them may die.
If somebody goes and they're like, hey, Night King, come here, I'm going to fuck you up. They're just going to die, and that's when everyone's going to go like, oh, fucking shit. Like, this guy's for real. Like, and then probably like the second, third, or like seventh person to try and take him on will eventually
the last surviving
succeed.
Character.
I feel like in the last couple episodes, like I said, they were going to start dropping like flies. I think the last couple episodes, they have enough characters to where they're going to be offing a lot of people. I
think so.
They
too.
have to.
I think it's going to be
the battle wouldn't be as epic if
there's
significant characters didn't die off.
It's going to be Infinity War. Like this, just half of them are going to die.
Except Infinity War at the end of the day means nothing. Like all of them are coming back. So
yeah, but like I think it's just I think half of them are going to die, roughly.
I mean, yeah. I'm just so ready. Like
I know.
I already know I'm gonna blink and I'm gonna be sitting here watching it. So it's like,
it's very much like it's right around the corner. But since it's so close, it seems like you're just crawling towards it, like step by step. It's like,
well, like
please.
Well, like I didn't know it was a week away until tonight. So like,
I mean, I can honestly wait a while. I could wait more than a week now to watch but like once I watched the first episode,
when we were in New York, you saw like a billboard.
Yeah, for season 5 with
and you
Tyrion.
Were like, bro,
I need to watch Game of Thrones.
Okay, but like it gets a lot worse. Like as soon as I watch the first episode of season 8, my days are gonna feel like years until the next episode.
It's gonna be at work, like God fucking damn it.
I'm gonna, yeah.
Once it ends, like I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life for like the week after it ends. Like I'm just gonna be sitting there like it's finally over. Like like fucking Lord of the Rings.
Damn. Do you think they're gonna do something that's like, I mean, probably not, but I feel like I would just like it if they did some like crazy shit that's like out of the bounds of the show, where it's like
the White Walkers come up and they're like, "Listen, we're not trying to fight you, we're trying to save you."
And then
like, a bigger threat coming from like farther.
And then
up
it
north
says Game of Thrones 2 coming,
double action
soon.
Or just all the White Walkers come up and they just have like Tommy guns, like.
That'd be fucking stupid.
Yeah. I'm just talking about like Bran, like because there's some type of force behind everything, or because it's like the whole Bran stuff. It's like
what I want
some type of supernatural.
Oh yeah, the whole deity thing.
Yes, it's like
who
it's
is
like
God.
It's George R. R. Martin. There's gonna be a moment where
it's gonna be like the Wizard of Oz. He's hiding behind a curtain behind the Iron Throne.
Someone like everyone's gonna be dead, and they're gonna sit down. And you're just gonna hear.
Yes, very good.
And he's like, I knew you had made it because I created you. And they're just like, what the fuck?
What the fuck are you?
It's going to be like when they go to see The One Above All.
Yeah, pretty much.
What?
John is going to have a vision, and just like in the clouds, it's going to be George R. R. Martin just
on a
like,
fucking typewriter.
typing away. And John looked at me.
And I looked back.
Oh,
what I want to know is, Can't Bran see into the future? Isn't that one of his abilities?
They haven't.
Did they
shown,
specify the future?
I think they've only shown the past.
They've shown the past.
He would have gone into the future.
I think they've showed the past and they've shown like the present, but in other places. But I don't think they've shown the future.
Yeah.
Okay.
You would think
that makes sense.
You would think he'd be able to see into the future.
Because I was thinking if he could see into the future, I don't even know what just.
Well, then
he already knows how it's gonna go down.
Yeah, it's gonna. Yeah. Just like they're 14.
Maybe I was about to say maybe it's like maybe he does know and he's just like
I'm the three-eyed raven, so I can't tell you.
I shall not interfere.
Either that or he like he knows everything's gonna turn out good and he knows if he says anything it could change shit. Yeah. So he's just like I'm just gonna let things play out.
He's giving off some Dr. Manhattan vibes.
Yeah. I don't know, he gives off nothing vibes. Just like,
well, it's not in like the sense of his powers, just in the sense of like he's so like coldly detached from humanity.
Yeah, Dr. Manhattan just goes to other planets and just like creates like life, and that fool's wild.
He's just like, oh fuck this, I'm going to Mars, and just like disappears, dick out and everything.
Do you think whoever ends up on the Iron Throne is gonna have their dick out? Question mark?
Definitely.
I sure hope so.
Assert dominance.
Damn, they gotta show one more dick. There's gonna be one dick in season 8.
It's gonna be George R. R. Martin's.
Oh my god, that's the last shot of the show. No,
it'll play the end credits, and as soon as he gets to the end, it's just like a quick flash.
No,
you shall not gaze upon God in His true form.
No, it's like
or like during the Battle of Winterfell, just halfway through it for like a split second.
Yeah, no, one frame. Most people wouldn't notice it, but then everyone else would be like, did they just put the show? And it takes up the entire screen.
But it's like a smaller vertical picture, but just stretched out to fit the screen.
No, and it has to be a moment where it's like Jon has a sword through him, and he's just like, and then it just flips.
Wiener.
Oh, God. Can we look up a tally of how many dicks are in the show? Because
I guarantee
because listen, South Park did that whole parody, and it's all the whole joke is like, oh, there's so many dicks. I really didn't feel like there was that many dicks.
Well, you weren't looking hard enough.
Yeah, you gotta pay attention.
I guess so. Maybe in the background of some scenes, there's just.
Man, someone's gonna see my search history and be like, "Why is he wondering about like how many weenies there are?"
And then you can play them this. And
oh my god! When I say how many wieners, it's the first question that pops up.
For real?
Yeah, how many?
At least two.
Cultural.
At least two. Okay. The person it's a Reddit question. The person who's asking questions, bringing up the same point as you are. It's just like, I saw South Park make fun of it, but I really don't notice too many dicks. Let's see if anybody's actually like wild enough to find the exact number of dicks.
It must not be that hard. It's just 70 hours of television.
It's more than that.
Well,
wiener,
yeah.
Floppy wiener.
By a few hours.
Yeah. This is fitting to be like, how much by season 8? It's gonna be like almost.
Well, I don't know how many. Does the time for each episode of season 8 is gonna be different?
Yeah,
it's not gonna be an hour.
Yeah, I don't see like a count of the. Oh my god! Here's a complex article ranking the dicks in Game of Thrones.
The fuck? Who the fuck ranks dicks?
Complex.
They don't like. No one ever talks about.
They gave Theon Greyjoy 3 purple pickles.
three eggplants. I like the veiny eggplant emoji.
The wine merchant that they try.
That
tries to sell Daenerys the poisoned wine. He gets 2 eggplants.
Wait, when did they show his dick?
Like when they're dragging him behind. It comes with the picture.
Oh, wow. see, little stuff like that I don't remember.
Okay, this is bullshit. They only gave Hodor's dick 2.
Holy shit, dude! Hodor's dick.
Hodor is the most. Dude,
that's one big old.
The fact is that they did that in front of like a child while filming that show, like, for no reason. Like, the actor that plays him has talked about how uncomfortable that was, and it's a prosthetic dick. He's not actually that hung. Or maybe he is, but it's not a real
they wouldn't need a prosthetic.
Flaccid, that was pretty big, okay?
Yeah, like...
If that was Hodor's dick flaccid, I'm fucking terrified.
That's 6 inches flaccid, dude.
Hodor running at you just full tilt. Just like,
yeah. Imagine holding the door. He wasn't using his hands. It's just, hold the door.
And then the other one, Sir Loris's male prostitute.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Sex with? That's 4. That's 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. What? I mean,
that was Marjorie's brother.
No. I know. I'm just saying, like, they're rating the dicks off their looks. It's like,
yeah, I don't know.
Who the fuck does this?
Also, hold on. Let me read why. If we're being incredibly superficial here and clearly petty, I'm glad that there was one instance of seeing someone naked on this show who is actually hot. Who is this written by?
Yeah.
I'm gonna write to them. Carinza Cadenas.
I'm gonna write to them.
I will send messenger pigeon.
Hodor deserves 5 eggplants. Damn it.
Yeah, I mean he really does deserve like all the eggplants. The man gave his damn life. Give him the eggplants.
Give him all the eggplants that are humanly possible. Hodor seems very nice, but seeing his dick, even a humorous sense, isn't necessary. Is this what equal opportunity looks like? At least in retrospect, the episode...
What?
In retrospect, the episode title, The Pointy End, is fitting.
So they're not... So they're just rating the dicks off of nothing? Like, they're not rating them off of the look? They're not like, the bell end was so elegantly rounded, and the shaft was so... I don't want to go any farther with that.
What website?
What website? Are you on Vulture?
Complex.
There's a website called Vulture that has a giant-ass article of every dick shown. And they're rating it too, or they're just giving a description of it, and they were like,
"Why is this a thing?"
Theon Greyjoy showed an unrealistically flaccid post-coital penis during a scene with Ross in one scene.
Where's Theon's dick?
When he's getting tortured?
Yeah, no, I'm saying they cut it off. Where is
he ate it, right?
No,
I think one of Ramsay's dogs ate it.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
They sent it to the Iron Islands. They sent it to the Iron Islands in a box.
Okay.
And then his dad, Balon Greyjoy, who by the way is also another one of those guys that's just like, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
He was just like, well, he's not a man anymore, so I don't give a shit. Like, and it's just like, oh my god.
Damn,
like,
thanks, Dad. You meanie.
You big meanie. Just because I have no pee-pee doesn't make me less of your son.
So, Dad, I'm being tortured. Please.
It's like, no, you don't have a dick, you little bitch. Like,
no, I think that's one of my favorite characters for people to see in the show. I had somebody that I was talking to at work, and they were like, yeah, I'm watching Game of Thrones, and I was like, have you met Ramsay Bolton yet? And they were like, no. And they were like, what should I know about him? And I was like, you don't need to know nothing.
All will be revealed.
Yeah,
soon.
I was about to say, all will be revealed.
Oh god.
Just because, like, you meet him and it's like, oh, this is a dude. Like,
he's just first, I think he, like, guises himself as being trying to help.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you meet him and it's like, oh, okay, this character. Like, I didn't really think anything was wrong, if I recall, from me first watching it. Mm-hmm. And then...
an episode later.
He just switches and you're like, oh, shit.
And his, like, girlfriend.
Oh,
his
yeah.
batshit girlfriend. She's, like, equally as insane. She's just like,
Harley
yes,
Quinn.
Ramsay, let's go on a date where we hunt your servants down with our dogs. Like,
yeah, sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, fellas, first date idea.
Wait, what happens to her? Doesn't she fall off something?
Yeah, Sansa pushes her off the
off the tower at Winterfell.
Yeah, I forget what it's called. It starts with like an S. The Stallops or something like that of the castle wall.
I'm not gonna lie, I laughed my ass off when Littlefinger pushes the pregnant lady, or the lady who was like breastfeeding her son in the Vale.
Liza Aaron.
Liza Aaron. Just the way she's like, just like.
Well, he's like, I will only love one woman as long as I live, and she's like, it's like your sister, and just like, thought punches her.
I was about to say Spartan kick. Jesus, that's probably. I think. That is one of the memes that needs to come back, ironically.
Was that ever a meme?
Sparta kicking?
Are you joking?
Sparta kick. I thought you
This is Sparta!
I was about to say,
it's so terrible. It's not funny at all, but...
I enjoyed, front kicking something and saying this is Sparta on occasion.
I watched a video on Twitter today of a guy in some apartments, and he's like, bro, you better not come up these stairs. And he's like... Bro, and they're arguing, and he's trying to get up the stairs, and he takes a step up, and he kicks him off, and it's like the dude goes flying.
The Sparta kick is a very effective kick.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, probably I think the roundhouse kick is probably the best.
I think a front kick has the most power to it.
If Chuck Norris and King Leonidas were in a sumo circle and
that's
only
actually
could
really
use
hard to say.
Kicks to get each other out, who's making it out?
I guess. Well, I feel like because a regular kick that goes out like that is a little bit. It's the most easy kick to pull off. Mm-hmm. The roundhouse takes more finesse. I'm taking into aesthetics into the.
So if it looks cooler, it's better. Is that
I said overall.
I would also say,
and this is very readable because if you kick and they can just catch you and then you're off balance.
Yeah, I was about to say
we're going with the best. Then a spinning back kick is the best.
Oh hell yeah! Or wait. One of the ones where you kick your leg out first. You kick one out and then swing it back as
the Karate Kid kick at the end.
Yeah. That's a less effective front kick.
Yeah.
Aesthetics.
Sure. For those listening, he just did a Karate Kid.
Yeah.
Broken leg. Front kick.
You want to see me do a roundhouse?
You can do a roundhouse.
They're not going to see you do anything.
All right, wait. What's the... I don't know the exact correct...
It's like you're trying to head kick somebody, essentially.
Yeah. Kick Jake in the back of the head right now. Yeah, that was...
Damn, I don't have the groined...
groin?
I don't have the groin muscles.
I don't have the flexibility.
It's all about the groin, bro.
Jeez.
I want to learn how to do the splits.
I do too. Sometimes I wish that like
it was terrifying.
When I was little, and I didn't think it was for girls only. I kind of wish I got into like
gymnastics.
You'd be
stupid strong.
Yeah.
I know. I'd be lean as hell.
I know this one kid. He's only like 4'11", but he like does hardcore gymnastics, and he's literally just like a fucking muscle.
Oh, dude, seeing people that can hold themselves up like perpendicular
like
to a flagpole, it's like that's stupid strength. Like,
I met him at my camp, and the cabin he was in had a pull-up competition against the cabin I was in, and just him did more pull-ups than my cabin combined.
What? Yeah. So how many are we talking?
He literally did like 60 pull-ups and then just said, "Yeah, fuck it, I'm bored." Like he could have kept going.
Oh,
that's
crazy. I was about to say,
keep in mind, this kid was literally like 12 at the time.
Wow, that's wow. Does that like stunt your muscle growth if you're that strong?
I mean, if it's all body weight exercises, no.
Okay.
Here's the thing: is that
you just can't like weight lift.
Yeah.
The dude, he's not a kid. He's a dude. He's not like insanely abnormally strong. He's just like
super lean,
very buff.
Yeah.
Like
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like I don't think he bench presses 400 pounds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I have no doubt that like he could absolutely shit on anybody pound for pound.
Anybody?
A lot of people.
I want to see him try, bro.
Bro,
I'll be there.
The most I've ever done was 9 or something.
When I was like,
come at me.
When I was like a lot skinnier, I could do like 9th or 10th grade. I could do like 5 pull-ups.
Yeah, I can do on a good day like 6 right now.
Yeah, I probably can't do
pull-ups, not.
Yeah, no, these are way harder when you're facing front.
I probably can't do as many as I used to be able to do because I weigh a little more and I'm not as strong as I was like a year ago.
You fall off so quick. I was doing it every day, but then I moved and I can't put my pull-up bar.
If you stop doing pull-ups for like 2 days, you lose all progress. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and I've never been a pull-up guy. I've just been more of like bench press, like weightlifting.
Also, what I've found from my experience is the higher your body fat, it doesn't matter how strong you are, the higher your body fat percentage is, the harder it is to do.
Dude, I'm like 90% body fat.
Like a few weeks ago before I started bulking, I was able to do like 8 actual palm out pull-ups consecutively. And then like a few days ago I can only do like 3 now.
Just because you...
But I've gotten stronger. Just because my body fat has gone up a little bit.
I can see that.
It's so
because,
weird.
I mean, you are
last year.
It's your entire body weight just on your arms, so it makes sense.
Last year, I was probably this time last year like 280 pounds, and I could bench press like well over 400, but I couldn't do fucking pull-ups to save my life.
That's crazy.
I was about to say, dude, the most I ever did was like 175.
I think right now, like my comfortable. Let's see.
Or did I go farther than 175? I remember the last time I maxed out, I was at 175. So I know I was above that at
You might have gotten stronger from then. Because here's the thing, is that I've never actually tried... The most I've actually ever maxed out at is 370, but I also put up 21 reps of 300.
Okay, hold on. Before you go any farther, is that on a free bar? Or
free bar.
Okay. Because I know like a long time ago you used a Smith machine.
Yeah,
and that's cheaty.
Smith machines is the pure strength without any of the form, so it's a lot easier.
So I can't tell you how many times I go to the gym and I see guys that are like...
The form is what fucks me.
They're like Trey size, and they'll put like 2 45s on each side and 10s, and they sit there and they go... And like they bounce it off the chest and they lean up and pick it up and they're like... and everyone just looks at him.
A Smith machine is good to like build some strength on, but like if you are going to actually like start bench pressing, like you need to switch over to an actual bar early on.
Yeah.
Because like,
well, the form does matter.
Because I remember I could bench press, like I did like 4 reps of 300 pounds on my Smith machine when I was in 9th grade.
Yeah.
And I think my end of 9th grade max was 305. So it's like not really evening out there.
Yeah.
How much do you think Jon Snow can bench press?
Fuck.
Realistically,
like
I would say
I'm thinking like 230.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was
I was gonna say
235. Like
maybe a little less because he got stabbed in the chest like 60 times.
Yeah.
So his muscles.
But I mean, does he still have all those scars?
Yeah. Do you not see him? They're like they're like cavities in his body.
I would definitely. I would say over 200.
Yeah.
Depending on where in the show, probably max at about 235.
You're like, hey, how much can you bench press? He's like, what? What is that? The fucking White Hunters are coming.
So hold on, this is important. Okay?
Like,
if we can outbench the White Walkers, bro, we got this in the bag, dude.
All right, that's like the gym bro attitude.
Wait, no. The end of the show is who can shred down the mountain the best on some skis. the White King versus
the White Walkers are coming. We gotta escape. Get these skis.
I thought you meant the actual like the mountain at first. Like that's what he's actually the world's strongest man. Like he's won that competition this past year.
There was like 4 or 5 different mountains. Are you talking about the most current one?
The longest running one.
Okay.
He like from season. I think he's like season 4 to now. Like Halfthor, Julius Bjornsson.
The one that has like the tiny ass wife.
Yeah.
Oh, you know
his wife is like 5'1".
Yeah.
And like
110 pounds.
Yeah.
He like picks her up with one arm.
I forever regret that our listeners will not be able to see what Jake just mimed.
Man, it's okay.
Just look up what's the dude's name?
Halfthor Julius Bjornsson.
Look up that and then put "and wife" and go to Google Images like the first.
Just
the first
look
picture.
up the mountain and wife. That guy's like very wide.
And then the first image will just give you an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like that hamster with the banana.
I saw that one with Shaq and his wife.
Yes, that's what I was gonna bring up. But okay, you know another character that I really he wasn't that terrible, but one that just kind of aggravated me for some reason was the dude that it's probably because Jorah was trying to get with Daenerys, but Daenerys kept choosing this guy. He was just like he had a beard and he was like
Daario
Naharis. Yes.
Yeah.
Because originally he's played by
Ed Skrein.
Yeah.
He got cucked pretty hard though. Oh no, he didn't even get cucked. He got some.
Well, yeah, he gets it in. Like
he gets some, and then she's like, "Hey, I gotta be
She's
married."
not a good leader, but she's like a 10. So it's like,
yeah. She's like, and then she's like, "Hey, I've got to marry like a lord from Westeros, so you like stay here and like you get none of this anymore." Like,
but the whole time Jorah's like, "I love you." And she's like,
you got grayscale.
She's like, there's a 30-year age difference.
That's more because she's supposed to be like 16 when the show starts. That's like a 50
when she starts, she's like 13.
Yeah, she's 13.
In the books, she's like 13. I think in the show they said she was 16 or 17.
That doesn't. I
think it's just because it makes it a little less weird.
I think so, yeah.
And just because she's not believable as a 13-year-old, even though she is very small, like
she's barely believable as a 16-year-old or a 17-year-old.
But
like,
it makes
because she
sense.
was probably like 20-something.
Stupid decisions are on point though.
Yeah, that actually is a good explanation.
I show up and I just ruin this culture. Why do they not like me?
Well, you're fucking 12. You don't understand.
I freed the slaves. I took away your income. Why are you trying to kill me? I don't understand.
And then she marries that one like former slave owner.
Yeah.
What even happened to him? I know he died, but I forgot how.
During the arena match,
did he get killed by the Sons of the Harpy?
Yeah.
That scene gave off some serious Battle of Geonosis vibes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. The Colosseum.
Yeah.
Talking about that fight,
That's funny.
The part where it was Grey Worm, and who's the knight that gets the grayscale? Jorah. When they're sitting there back to back, just fighting in that little cord.
That's not Jorah. That's the former leader of the Kingsguard.
You're right.
Dude, the old man.
Yeah.
Dude, yes.
What's his old man?
What the fuck is... I literally heard his name earlier today because I watched him.
He was...
Barrister?
Yeah, Barristan Selmy.
Barristan Selmy.
Yeah. He was like Jaime Lannister before Jaime
That
Lannister.
old man put in work before
He's
he died.
fucking sick. And he was like an OG. Like, he was one of the last OGs to like die.
He fought in the war before Robert's Rebellion.
Yeah.
The War of the Nine Penny Kings. That's what it's called, right?
I don't know anything about
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah,
Robert's Rebellion.
It's not even mentioned. They mentioned that he's been in a war before Robert's Rebellion, but I don't even think it's mentioned in the show. It's mentioned in the books, and I believe it's the 9 Penny Kings or the 5 Penny Kings. Basically, it has this whole storyline where Barristan Selmy could have killed the Mad King, like rightfully, before he was ever like that insane, and he didn't.
Yeah.
And so one of the reasons he lives in so much regret is because he didn't do that, and all the stuff that happened because he was allowed to survive.
Whoa.
It was like a revolt, and it involved all of those like old OG guys from like Robert's Rebellion and stuff.
Damn, how old was Ned at that time?
It might not have had like Ned and Robert. But
well, yeah, that's what I was saying. Ned was probably a child at Winterfell at that time.
Yeah, like Ned. I think Ned's dad died in that war. Okay. That's the war that Ned's dad and his older brother died.
Ned Schneebly.
Yeah, I don't. But yeah, that scene is fucking incredible.
Which one? Oh, the one where he dies?
Yeah,
in
the corridor.
Yeah.
Like
Grey Worm is such a cool character.
That was him dying was also one of the scenes that I watched way before I started watching the show. But
also, Grey Worm doesn't have a dick and gets the hottest girl on the show.
Oh yes, dude,
his
Missandei
is so fine. Yeah,
yeah.
But
nothing else needs to be said.
But he don't got a dick, so it's kind of like.
Hey, but like
they snuggle.
They do more than snuggle.
Maybe he got a foot fetish.
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. What's her name? I can't pronounce that.
Missandei.
Missandei,
I think.
Maybe she's got like a dominatrix complex, and Grey Worm just.
Yeah, Grey Worm is in for it.
Grey Worm is.
Oh, she just be putting stuff in his butt.
This is taking a weird turn.
I mean,
let's talk about dicks again.
All right.
Or should we take the characters that don't have dicks? How about that?
Who's the guy who doesn't have a ball? Them balls, no balls.
Varys.
Yeah, I know. I just had to fix what I said because I was like, dumb balls.
Dumb balls.
Yeah, you got
he
Varys. Okay, so fight to the death. You got all the characters with no dicks besides like the Unsullied because that's not fair.
Yeah. Well, does he have a shaft, or is it just no balls?
They don't have anything there.
Yeah, dick and balls.
Eunuchs?
Yeah.
Well, that's what he is. He's a eunuch.
Eunuchs have nothing.
What do they pee out of? Because there has to... do they just have a hole?
I think they even talk about that.
Like, there has to be... Urine has to come out, or they get toxic
I'm guessing
shock.
it's just like a slit.
They got that pussy.
So they pretty much got a coochie. Wow. Well, like it would have to be the urethra hole, and it's just on, and then it just kind of spurts out.
Yeah, no control. You got to sit down and everything.
I think it just goes for. I mean, it's kind of like standing up peeing, but you have less control.
Or they just piss themselves. I wouldn't be surprised. Like if the masters are just like, you don't.
Man, he's out like talking to people all day. He just pisses himself.
Well, no, not anymore. But like originally, he was probably like trained to piss himself.
What?
Okay, think about this.
Is to piss
your
pants.
Mid-battle, or like you're standing guard, you're the ultimate soldier. Are you going to go to the fucking bathroom? No, you're going to piss yourself.
Yeah, no, I see that. You're all in your armor and shit. You can't take it off. If you're sitting there, it's like you better fucking piss yourself.
If you gotta go pee.
But I'm talking about
like you're just shitting yourself, pissing yourself on the spot. The Unsullied are doing that.
The enemy is running towards you, and they just smell
that's
shit.
That's how the whites. That's how the battle's gonna go. The whites are gonna start charging, and they're gonna go.
Oh my fucking god, bro!
It smells like India.
I'm dying again, bro. Fuck that.
Shut up, Kanish. God, we've been building him up, and like I'm so excited for him to be
when
on the
he
show.
gets
Is
on
he
the
coming?
pod.
Yeah, we're gonna have him on.
He will be on eventually. No, I've been watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and in season 2, the entire time they just shit on India for so long.
What?
Like, literally, they spend like
Japan's racist, bro.
they spend like 7 episodes in India, and the entire time they're just shitting on India.
I mean, India already shits on itself, so
India's like it's like several small countries inside a giant nation.
yeah, pretty much.
It really is, because you've got like, well, basically Britain just said this is all one fucking thing.
Yeah.
And then Pakistan was like, what the fuck? And they were like, this is all 2 fucking things.
They're like, okay,
Fine.
those damn crooked teethed.
You about to say some
fancy
racist
talking?
shit?
No, I'm talking about British people.
Tea sipping.
No.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Fuck British people.
I'm not even gonna lie. I kind of like the UK. It ain't.
They can't even.
The UK is not even the UK anymore.
Yeah.
Like it's.
Oh yeah, it's.
They don't even have
it's
Ireland.
There's more refugees in the United Kingdom than there are like citizens.
Yeah, like they don't even. They just cannot claim. I don't know. I'll fuck with Europe. I fuck
Yeah,
with
that's
Greece.
what I'm saying.
I fuck with Greece because that's where I'm
Yeah.
from, and I fuck with Amsterdam because that's where I've lived before. Other than that, like,
They don't matter.
yeah,
Pretty much America's the best.
Europe could stop existing, and I wouldn't be that upset about it.
I mean, get all the good actors like from Game of Thrones and put them in
Yeah,
America before
yeah,
you get rid of it. Because we
get
got some good
like,
actors, okay?
but only
Get Daniel Craig. I want.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Craig.
get Daniel Craig out of there.
Get Daft Punk out of there.
Yeah,
That's my only request.
Get the people that matter out of there. That's what we.
yeah, like those 5 or 6 celebrities. And then we're good. Europe could disappear.
Yeah. We'll just move on.
Thanos snaps them away.
The entire like continent of Europe is just gone.
Damn. I want to make. There needs to be some type of Game of Thrones crossover with some other universe.
Bro, Game of Thrones Fortnite?
Game of Thrones. Lord of the Rings.
That's too similar.
Yeah.
I guess you could do that.
It would just be weird.
Yeah. Y'all do know about the guys, the 2 dudes that are doing the Game of Thrones series? They're gonna start doing a Star Wars The Old Republic.
That's got it's not confirmed to be Old Republic.
It's not the Old Republic that I know.
It's gotta be the Old Republic.
It's
I
gonna be a
don't see
version.
any
of
way
it.
that
No,
they don't
it is.
make
It
that.
is the Old Republic.
They've already announced it.
Yeah.
If
Okay.
it's Star Wars
But
Game of
it's-
Thrones, it's good, it's gonna be lit.
It's
like,
geared towards adults too. So
It
it's not-
just needs Revan.
It's way
I
after.
need
that,
Revan.
I know it's way after.
mean,
I
they
need
can-
Revan.
It's like a few hundred years before the prequels, so it's
Well, yeah, but
you don't have all these
The-
badass
this-
Star Wars.
You can they can really transplant anything.
yeah, I was about to say they can change up some timelines.
Give me that.
Like,
Well, if they change up the important parts of the style, then everything gets out of whack. You know.
yeah, but
That's why I'm saying just go back like 10,000 years to the actual Old Republic and start there.
Someone said that
Well,
they
back when people-
Star Wars Rebels actually did a lot to make a lot of Old Republic stuff canon.
Yeah.
Which is funny because like most people I know that like Old Republic fucking hate Star Wars.
I can't do
Rebels.
Rebels. It's
There are
I can
episodes
do the
of
Clone
Rebels.
Wars. The Clone Wars was cool.
Love the
Oh,
Clone
yeah.
Wars. There are episodes of Rebels that I could watch, and other
I just
episodes
watched
are just,
clips on YouTube, like all the
Yeah.
good parts, and I was like, oh, that's
There are other episodes that are just not great, but like there are some episodes where like
The
Darth
Vader versus
Maul
Ahsoka. I
arc-
like that.
Yeah, Darth Vader versus Ahsoka. Like those are cool, but like there are just others where it's just like this is fucking pointless. Like
Yeah.
no one cares.
And I don't know what's up with Darth Vader's Inquisitors and Rebels, and they have these circle blades that they hold,
Yeah,
and then they're like
double-sided.
it's like a dual staff lightsaber,
Mhm.
but then the blades spin in a circle, and they just walk towards people like. See,
They use
That doesn't do
They use
anything.
them as fucking helicopters sometimes.
Yeah, and they fly around with them.
With a lightsaber?
Yeah, it's like a lightsaber that spins like a fan. And they just
yeah, I'm not going to lie. This is a whole side of Star Wars I don't care to ever go into.
Yeah, I don't care much for Rebels, but there are a few episodes that I fucking love.
Yeah. Damn. I just remember, do y'all remember the 2D animated Clone Wars? It was made by the same guy
I remember a couple parts of it.
Samurai Jack.
I remember the Geonosis fights. Those were cool.
I think. Oh no! I saw there was a Star Wars Clone Wars movie of the 3D animated show, but it was just it was in theaters. I remember seeing that.
Yeah.
And the only thing I remember is that you meet Jabba the Hutt's like cousin or something, or his sister.
Yeah, it's his cousin Zero.
Yeah.
Zero the
There's
Hutt.
like.
And it's got Jabba the Hutt's son.
Related. That's the thing.
The whole
how
plot.
do they fucking get anywhere? Like,
well, because they're like the criminal. They're like the leaders of the underworld.
How did they get into fucking power though? Like,
yeah, no. What do they do? Anybody who's like,
I think the planet that they come from, there's a super rare mineral that's used in like hyperdrive or something like that, and they just sold that off to get a shit ton of money.
I feel like anyone could have killed their anybody could have just killed them. They're like defenseless.
Yeah, but if they're giving out like tons of fucking money,
I don't know. I'd have to.
If they have a bunch of resources,
I don't care about
someone is going to catch them.
That's probably not right.
Well, some Hutts
who gives
Who
a
cares?
fuck?
I mean, they could die. No one cares.
Yeah, I mean,
they're just nasty. They're nasties. That's all they are. They're just nasty.
They're gross.
Throw some salt on their ass.
That would work.
100% that would work.
Welcome to Jabba the Hutt.
That's what they are. They're just giant slugs.
That would be
just have an infatuation with female human beings.
Yeah, I was about to. That's like, does he find that
attractive? Yes.
Or does he not find like
female Hutts attractive?
Yeah, like just these fucking gargantuan.
Do you find female Hutts attractive?
Yes.
I mean, let's be real.
Well, I've only seen.
They look exactly the same.
Oh, actually, I think the only female Hutt you see Jabba the Hutt's mom. Good. You see Jabba the Hutt's mom in the Clone Wars, and she's like fucking 12 times bigger.
Does she just have hair? Does she have a little
like lipstick on
blonde? Yeah, she's got lipstick and blonde 50s hair,
and like 6-inch nails.
Yes. Oh my god. Wait, does Jabba have arms? Yeah.
Yeah, he's got little babby arms.
Yeah, he's got
little
like the weakest fucking arms. Jabba doesn't even fucking lift.
He can't even move. He has to be like hauled everywhere.
No, he can like slug around.
Yeah, but when's the last time you saw him move without?
He was every single time you see him in the movies, he's in the same spot.
Well, if you consider
on like a little throne that can like.
Well, technically, canonically, if you consider the Episode 4 remaster.
I don't.
But in the remaster, he's like moves around a little bit.
Oh yeah! Oh my god! He's like talking to fucking Han.
Yeah,
he's
like, Boba Fett just like walks through the background.
Like
Boba Fett just like walks through the background and then like looks directly into the camera and then like keeps going. And it's like, wow, like
I see him. He's there.
Because originally, Jabba the Hutt was just supposed to be like a regular fucking fat guy. Because they based
the test footage.
The scene that's from is from a deleted scene with Jabba the Hutt in it, and it's just a regular fat guy.
He's just wearing like a vest.
He's like fat bastard from Austin Powers.
He's not that fat.
He's pretty fucking fat. I don't know.
That shit's fucking funny.
He's much larger than me.
Damn. I don't know, but.
Yeah,
how did we get to Star Wars from that?
Who fucking
I don't know. We were on a tangent about something.
Yeah, it doesn't even
and then
matter.
I was like, okay, this is kind of related. You know, Game of Thrones. These guys are making a Star Wars trilogy.
Oh yeah. I'm very down for whatchamacallit, Knights of the Old Republic though. Like if that's
that would be awesome.
That's what I want very bad.
That's the side of Star Wars that I want people to know. It's not just like
you showed me those like animations from the game.
Yeah, there's like $3-4 million animations.
Them hoes are fire. Like
I
it's
just
just
a movie just like that.
It's a fuckload of Siths versus a lot of Jedi. Like,
I will say some of the powers.
Those are weak Sith and weak Jedi too. Those aren't even the strong guys.
Some of the powers that they establish are just a little too OP to like be within the same universe as the movies, though, because like.
Or to do visually.
Well, but no, here's the thing: is that in the movies, like the generations are supposed to be like better than the last, but like you watch like those animations and you've got that one chick that just like screams and disintegrates like everyone within like a 3-mile radius, like
for force. Yeah,
and those are the weak people.
No, those are the strong people.
But it's like
within
that it just doesn't make sense to have that within the same universe. As
the way you can justify it is. The galaxy gets destroyed over and over, and like the Emperor of the Sith during the Old Republic, legit like destroys planets. Just but like he goes there and he just devours everyone's soul, and just kills trillions of people.
Not Nihilus, right?
No, this is
it starts with like a V or something. And
this is Darth Clagor.
He's got those two twin sons.
His name. Well, that's Valkorion.
Oh, okay.
But that's just a body that the Sith Emperor took over.
Okay.
His real name was Darth like Tenebrae or something like that.
I think Darth Tenebrae is that was Plagueis' master.
Oh, okay.
Darth Tenebris was Plagueis' master.
Yeah, well, Tenebrae.
Maybe
no,
it's very similar.
because it's probably a similar name. It's not the same guy though.
It was
Tenebrae dies at the end.
Also,
even though he lived for like 10,000
years. One of the things that I find fucking hilarious is that Darth Plagueis' master is the same race as the dudes that played the music in the cantina.
Really?
He's one of those.
Those eggheads?
Yeah.
Those eggheads.
Wait, one of those.
Isn't one of them... Okay, who's the dude with the long hair? His name's like Fuji Min Dong... Something like that.
You said long hair and grabbed your neck and drew it up. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about with the big head. And he's got white hair at the top that like comes off. He's a Jedi. He gets killed in Order 66. Fuji Min Window or something.
Fuji Window. Hold on.
Wait, are you talking about the snake dude?
No.
Oh, Ki-Adi-Mundi.
Yeah, Ki-Adi-Mundi.
Ki-Adi-Mundi.
Okay, the way you described that, I didn't even know you were talking about.
I thought you were talking about the dudes, like those aliens on Camino.
I thought you would get that his head is big and he's got the little white.
Well, you were like his head and his giraffe neck, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, I also really loved Kit Fisto because his
Kit Fisto is like very underappreciated.
That's what I'm saying. He was like the underwater scene where he's just
he's a Jedi focused for underwater and zero G fighting. Like it's such like a specific role.
And he's got dreadlocks.
Yeah, alien.
He's got tentacles on his head.
You never hear him talk, but you know he's black.
Yeah, I never even thought.
Yeah, I do.
I don't know. He was just. I remember.
Well, okay, you hear him talk in the Clone Wars, but like even from the movies.
Oh yeah, he's black.
No,
and then he dies from like.
From what?
He dies when they confront Palpatine.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. Yeah.
Also,
wait, what the fuck even happens? Like, does he get?
He's just one of.
This is what happens.
So it's those two guys that are next to Mace Windu.
Two Jedi masters that can't use lightsabers.
Yeah.
Okay,
Palpatine does his corkscrew fly across the room and stops. And then, so I have my lightsaber pointed at your Kit Fisto. And then Kit Fisto just raises his arms up like that.
No, Kit Fisto survives longer than the other two. He just fucking like...
Yeah, but like 0.2 seconds.
Yeah, he instantly wrecks the first two, and I think Kit Fisto actually blocks his first strike, and then he dies.
Palpatine jiggles his wrist a couple times, and both Jedi Masters die. It's like...
Hey, at least he looked cool.
Hey, also I heavily fuck with Plo Koon.
Oh yeah, he's got the like fly eyes.
Yeah, it's because like he can't breathe the air from
anywhere.
He can't breathe oxygen.
Oh, okay.
So like, which is another thing scientifically. It's like, how do that many species breathe oxygen? But I'll ignore that because it's fucking Star Wars.
Well, are there other? how does Obi-Wan... Okay, so wait, is Obi-Wan a human being?
Yes.
Then, okay, so this doesn't... I get it doesn't matter. I don't, like, I'm thinking about this for no reason, but it's like... So, he's the same thing as us, but just on a galaxy that's like... just a stupid amount of light years away.
Yeah.
But, like, they're exactly like us.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Actually... So
they got midichlorians.
Here's my deep lore of Star Wars knowledge. So there's kind of like it got like relegated. Ended up being like almost an Elseworlds style story.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, the movie that George Lucas made before Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
It's called like THR or something like that.
1887.
Yeah. So basically, that's about like an alternate future where I don't even fucking seen the movie. It's about an alternate future.
I've heard it's really not that good.
Yeah. But it's like kind of related to it's humans and like something to do with prison, whatever. Anyways, it's like a dystopian future movie. But apparently some of the original plans ended up like they wrote a prequel book that takes place like literally like millions of years like before the start of the Star Wars universe. Where those people
where the
from
Big Bang just happened.
Yeah, those people from
fish.
like the THR whatever universe
Mm-hmm.
find like an escape through like a portal, basically like a space-time portal.
Yeah.
Off of Earth, and they go out and they land on this random planet, and they're found by like this other alien race. What's the big like ancient? The Radakan Empire, something like that.
Rocky Dodgers.
It's like
Rocky
the big.
Dennis.
It's the
Rocky
original.
Dennis. Holy shit.
It's the original like big bad empire of the Star Wars universe. It's called like the Radakan.
The bad
Rocket
guy.
I'm not too sure. The Old
anyways,
Republic, as far as I get.
Yeah. So yeah, this is.
That's when stuff gets.
It's
cool.
before the Old Republic, but anyways, so those people they like find that ship that came over, and they enslaved these humans, which it started off as just like a few thousand humans.
Yeah.
And there's like this whole arc where those people like end up freeing themselves from slavery and starting like their lives over on this new planet.
Yeah.
But the main character like gives his life so that everyone else can be free, and he's got like kids and stuff like that. But his name, like his nickname, ends up being the Skywalker.
Oh shit.
Which is where the Skywalker name is supposed to come from. And then there's somebody else with the last name Solo. And so it's supposed
That's crazy.
That was supposed to be for a while the origin of the humans in the Star Wars universe. But then like George Lucas scrapped that and just made it like an Elseworld style story.
I think my favorite aspect of Star Wars is everything that's cool and awesome. Everyone besides George Lucas made.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like that's what I think. That's what's so unique about Star Wars is it's the only. It's like as if
it exists in spite of its creators.
Picture Stan Lee making like this universe of superheroes, but then sucking so bad at making and developing it that just fans just like oh I like superheroes.
What if we did this?
Here we go.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, wow, that's really cool. And George Lucas sucks at doing stuff like that, so you keep making stuff.
And he's like, but it's me. I've made it.
And everyone's like, shut up, you suck.
Yeah.
There are a lot
this is lore now.
There are a lot of people that like. So people hate this. Some people hate the sequels so much. Like I was telling Trey about this the other day. I've heard people refer to the prequels and the originals as the original 6, just to like spite the sequels.
That's stupid. Like,
yeah, and like people will be like, George Lucas needs to come back. Like he's the only reason. Like ever since he sold Star Wars, it's like, do you not realize he single-handedly almost ruined his own creation? Yeah. And this universe and this success exists in spite of him.
I'm sorry, but like if you seriously watch the prequel trilogy, and like. You can enjoy them, but it's like if you think those are quality films, like you don't. I don't know what to tell you, but you're wrong. Like you are just wrong. Like that's not possible.
Like I can watch them and enjoy them a little bit now.
I can too.
Yeah,
but especially because of prequel memes.
Yeah.
The memes have made them a lot more enjoyable, but also, like, wounds get better with time.
Well, like, as a kid, whenever it was coming out, I wasn't even, like, aware it was that bad.
I saw episode 3 in theaters, and I was like, hell yes.
Yeah, same.
Episode 3 is the best of the prequels.
Easy.
Yeah. I don't think... There are some people that are like, the prequels suck, but episode 3 is the best Star Wars movie ever, and it's like, hold your fucking horses there.
I think, like, everything besides story, for sure. Like, plot.
Yeah, the general idea has the potential to be way better than the originals or anything the sequels are. Just the general idea of it.
I don't want them to, but like me and Collin have talked about it. If they were to remake the prequels but good, insanely good, it would easily be better than the originals. But then again, if they went and took the originals and remade those, but like with crazy,
not 80-pound lightsaber
just pure story-wise.
The story of the prequels is like sick as fuck, but it's obviously just got shit.
Yeah, they got George Lucas-fied.
Where you at, George?
How did we get from...
We've asked this question all the time.
Game of Thrones dudes making a Star Wars movie trilogy.
Yeah, okay.
And we ran out of stuff to talk about with Game of Thrones, so we're talking about Star Wars.
Do we have any more points for Game of Thrones?
I'm excited. Yeah. That's about it.
I was about to say.
We could talk about the ending, like...
Talk about more dicks.
Talk about more dicks. If they show a dick in season 8.
They gotta show a dick.
Odds on bet.
All right.
Season 8, will there be dicks? Oh, do you want to do will there be dicks or an over-under on the dicks?
What is the over-under?
So it's like, say, like, the over-under is 1.5 penises. If there are...
1.5?
So that means if there's one...
Someone's going to have perfectly...
Jon Snow's going to be fighting the White King. He's got a helicopter dick and deflect his blade.
No, it means... like, so if there is one dick, then it's the under, and if you bet the under, you win. If there are two dicks,
I 100% believe there will be no dicks shown in this last season.
So maybe the over/under should just be half.
There's too much to be done
for there to
fool around with.
I don't know. They're gonna find a way to sneak some dicks.
Maybe they have another sex scene with Jon Snow and Daenerys.
You don't see Jon Snow's dick ever.
That's what I'm saying. He's like sexiest guy in the show. That's the dick.
Maybe Kit Harington has a micro penis.
Damn, that would be crazy.
That's why he doesn't want to be brought back to life anymore. He's like, please,
fucking kill me.
I'd want to die. Dead ass. If my shit was the size of my fingernail, like, I would be like.
I heard a story where it was
stem
like,
cell, bro.
This guy came into the nurse's office. And he's like, you can't laugh. There's something wrong with my penis. And he whips it out, and it's the size of a AAA battery.
Wait. Who said this?
It's a story I heard online.
Oh.
So he whips out his dick, and it's the size of a AAA battery. And she's like, okay. The doctor's like, okay, what's wrong with it? And he goes, it's swollen.
Is this a real thing?
Yeah, like this was on like Reddit doctor stories or something like that.
Have you seen the ones where they're like inside? Like it's so small that they have retreated back and it's just a hole and then a huge balls. They always have fat balls.
Like bulls, yeah. It's like beef downstairs.
Oh my God.
I don't look at pictures of people with
I didn't.
We don't do it intentionally, okay?
This is just social media has exposed me to a lot of shit.
We've seen shit.
I've seen
shit that makes me feel better.
I was about to say, we're all internet veterans.
I can't necessarily say I've seen a micro penis against my will. I've definitely seen some penises.
Wait, what? You've never seen a micro penis before?
I don't think I have.
I'm not gonna lie, you need to because it's
look it up. Look it up.
I'm not
on the podcast. You too. Look it up.
Against your will? Is it your will to see a micro penis?
Probably not.
Well, then I'm about to show you against your will.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Boom.
I mean, I don't wake up in the morning and say, "Man, can't wait to see a micro penis today."
I mean, it's gonna make you feel better, bro. Unless you got one too.
Damn.
Then well, compare
that
it.
One's not
to
that bad. Here's one that's really bad. That's what I'm talking about. Like one that's like
it's like a caterpillar. crunched up.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, what a...
After this, I'm done.
What the fuck is that?
That's what I'm saying. That is beyond. That is negative penis.
Dude, that's
like that. I would straight kill myself. I would straight up kill myself.
Too.
You can get like an implant.
That's what I'm saying. Get stem cell.
How does that even?
Man,
an implant?
That doesn't even make me feel better about myself. I just feel bad for them.
Well, no.
I mean, it's not supposed to make you feel... I've never seen one of those and been like, like...
Stem cell.
I'm always just like, I'm so sorry.
Stem cell.
Stem cell research.
Yes. As advanced. Very much.
Like, imagine... Can you have
We're back
children?
on dicks.
Can you
the main three.
It's the
three topics.
Game of Thrones, Star Wars, and penises. That's what this podcast is about, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, you sometimes give them three titles on the YouTube. That might have
Game of Thrones, Star Wars,
because
and
realistically,
penises.
that
Game of Star Wars dicks.
Game of Star Wars dicks.
Game of Dick Wars.
Oh.
Fellas, we need
I don't
to
think
get
I can put an obscenity in the title.
Yeah, you're right.
Game of Penis Wars.
Of the Star.
Battle of the Pork Swords.
Wow, that's kind of like a good name. The Battle of the Pork Swords.
No one's gonna know what the hell
that is. Game of the Battle of the Pork Wars.
But seriously, like, if you have a micro penis, like...
Check out stem cell.
Yeah. Also, like, I will literally
go check it out.
I will give you money if you have a micro penis.
I won't. I'll just I'll just tell you sorry. Sorry, bro.
I'm gonna give you some money and I'm gonna give you a hug and I'm gonna be like, I'm sorry, God.
I don't know if I'm gonna hug you.
No,
not really. No, not really.
Who knows, Jay? You might hug them and then their micro penis
That's
becomes a normal penis, bro.
Wait, what? I have that ability. If you
had the power to clear micro.
Okay, hold on.
My X-Men ability is to help people with micro penises by giving them a hug, and they'll get a normal sized one. I would definitely.
Okay.
I would be like, listen. I wouldn't make it public.
$100.
Just be
right
like,
now.
email me. We'll meet up. I want picture verification that it's you, so you're not trying to like kill me or something.
Yeah, you're not just trying to get some girth there, like.
Yeah.
Okay, no. Actual question. If your best friend had a micro penis and you had an average sized penis and like God came up to you and said, I will give your friend like a relatively normal sized penis.
But it has to be from yours?
Yeah. I'm going to take, let's say 6 inches. I'm going to take 3 inches off and give it to him.
And you're talking about right now?
Like, yeah, like if it's your
my
best
current
friend.
Okay.
So, like, if one of us had a micro penis.
How many inches are we talking about?
Enough. Well, I mean, you'd have to give at least like 2.5 at the very.
Sorry, bro.
Yeah,
I can't do that.
I can't.
I'm already working on 3, bro. I can't give you more, bro.
Yeah, I can't afford that, bro.
I don't think like most people can't afford that.
I don't know. I'd be willing to make that sacrifice for a friend.
You're a fucking good friend, man.
You're a G.
You're probably the realest out of all of us for that.
I mean, just imagine going through life with a micro penis.
All of those pictures
I'll try my best
obviously are for people that are over 18, but some of them look like in their 40s, and it's like, how you've made it your whole life.
Yeah,
like that is commendable.
I mean, I wouldn't give you half of my size, but I'd try my damnedest to get you laid.
Be like,
if that's even possible.
Is it?
Because
I mean, if it can't go in,
yeah.
God, I'm so sorry. Anybody with the micro penis.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, imagine having your family give birth and your son has a bigger penis than you, like straight out of the womb.
Well, how did you impregnate the woman?
I mean, he still has balls that work.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah. Some lab shit right there, test tube babies. I don't know. I don't like that we've been on this topic for a very extended
I love the fact that we've been on this topic. I think it
penises. We know most about penises, bro. This is our profession.
I just think we're a very open podcast. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll talk about anything.
Yeah.
And except, no, we won't. There's definitely some shit that
we have some rules.
Yeah. But
not about penises.
After this episode,
how long are we into this right now? Because like we've pretty much exhausted Game of Thrones.
Yeah, we've exhausted Star Wars. Probably haven't exhausted penises quite yet. Holy shit, we're 2 hours and 40 minutes in.
Do y'all just want to close it?
Yeah,
down?
we can start wrapping this boy up.
And if it's too long, you can cut out the last 30 minutes of dick
Yeah,
talk.
we can always just cut out the parts where we talk
I don't
about
know.
penises
I don't
for
know.
a very long time.
I think
this
I say
discussion
leave
has
it in.
This discussion has been beneficial. For people expecting 2 hours and 40 minutes of Game of Thrones discussion, they
You
will be
only get
sorely
about an
disappointed.
hour and...
They get like 2 hours, hour
Yeah.
45 minutes. And then
Yeah.
the last hours is just split between Star Wars and penises.
Yeah.
I don't even know about an hour 45, or maybe, I don't know.
Hour and a half at the least.
There's
That's a lot of Game of Thrones. That's enough for it to be a Game of Thrones episode. And listen, dicks come with the territory when you talk about Game of Thrones.
we talked about penises when we were talking about Game of Thrones.
Maybe we took it a little bit far, but...
We did take it a little bit far.
But
We're talking about what we're passionate about.
We have passion for penis.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a sign we need to just cut this off.
No.
So, oh my fucking god.
2 more hours. Let's go.
No.
I got more to talk about.
All right.
Like what?
We're talking about Star Wars dicks now.
They don't show any
I
dicks in
was about
Star
to say,
Wars.
it's kind of a
The
children's
significance of
franchise.
the fact that they showed Kylo Ren without a shirt in Episode 8 was the only other time we've seen a character without a shirt.
And
It's
even in
Anakin.
that, they had high-waisted pants so that you could make sure you don't see
But
them.
Kylo Ren had titties.
Is he... All right, listen. No, listen. Is he ugly or is he, like, attractive? That dude.
I mean, he's
The hair.
Adam Driver.
I think the hair that he rocks in Star Wars makes him not as attractive as he could be.
He looks
Really?
He kind of looks kind of bitchy.
Well, I've
with
never
the
seen
hair.
him with short hair. I don't think I have.
I haven't either.
Ever.
I need more water, dude.
Go get some.
Go get you some water. Get some. You gotta stay
His long
hydrated.
hair doesn't fit his face.
Yeah.
Really?
It fits his
That's why
character.
when Episode 7 came out.
Everyone said he looked like
Yeah.
the kid from Horton Hears a Who.
Yeah. When
His
Episode
name's like
7 came
JoJo.
out, I was like, oh, this is going to be badass. We got our new villain, Kylo Ren. And then he takes off his helmet, and I was like,
I didn't really have a problem with
What?
how he looked.
this is the most badass dude in the galaxy.
They're supposed to make him similar to Anakin, and they're doing that because he's acting like a little bitch.
I actually really
Except
like
Anakin
him.
had like an actual
I don't
like reason
him.
for it.
I don't like him as a character, or obviously he's a bad guy, but it's like I like Kylo Ren. I think he's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. It's just
Especially his development in Episode 8.
Dude, the scene where like
I want every gun we have
no
to be fired on that man.
Rey wakes up and they like see each other through the Force.
Yeah.
And she just picks up her gun and shoots. At that moment I was like, that's so dope. Like, I don't know. No.
I mean,
you're
we
good.
still got
You're
2 more
good.
hours
Don't-
to go.
don't worry
Yeah,
about it.
it's 5-hour marathon.
Should we do that one day?
Why not do it today?
Should
Carpe
we,
diem, bitch.
Should we or not live stream, but like watch multiple movies and just record us talking over the movie?
We watched the entirety of the Marvel Cinematic Universe in one go.
How long would
Fuck
that take?
that, dude. That's like
59
days.
hours. No, they're actually doing that for like build
that
up
shit
to
is fucking
Endgame.
stupid.
It's like 3 or 4
Bunch of
theaters in the
nerds,
country are doing a full marathon. It's 60 hours,
That's stupid.
and that's not even
No
including
breaks.
breaks. That's not even including like between movies.
You gotta have a lot of time on your hands to just go sit in a movie.
I would
Yeah.
do that.
I would not,
I would absolutely not.
especially
Like,
considering that like
half
the
of
majority
them-
Marvel movies aren't even worth it.
I was about to say, like, I'm not ever going to go back to most Marvel
like
movies.
Iron Man 2 and 3, I'm never gonna watch again. I like
Iron
the
Man
first
3
one.
just
season-
pissed me off.
I mean, not season 1, but like phase 1, every single bit of those. I mean,
Outside of the Avengers.
I might just like the Avengers. Like
I can't do
I'm
it.
not gonna watch that ever again unless I
Really?
have like kids, and obviously,
I think
if they get into
Yeah.
superheroes, it's gonna be like.
obviously outside of Infinity War, I think the first Avengers movie is the most iconic movie of the franchise. Just because
I'm not gonna watch it.
they
again.
were like they did it. Like they made an Avengers movie, and that doesn't seem like much now, but like.
I know, but that significance will not lead me to having an enjoyable experience, I promise.
Really?
Like, I just know myself, and watching the Avengers, I will just be like, I just won't be feeling it.
What about the Toxic Avenger?
Dude, I'll watch all 4 of those.
But we were gonna review that.
Originally,
on
the first episode of the podcast was supposed to be a review of the Toxic Avenger.
The first movie of Toxic Avenger is brutal, dude.
I remember being deeply disturbed.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm pretty sure I fell asleep.
I didn't finish it because I like everything about that.
The first 45 minutes of it is just like, it's like a. I forget what
I don't even know what to say about it. It's like a.
I'm drawing blanks.
Oh my god! It's like a film where people actually get murdered.
What is that called?
A snuff film.
Yeah,
no.
It's like the first 45 minutes of it is a snuff film, and you're
that's what I'm saying. Like I was actually very disturbed.
Y'all
it's
ever
clearly
seen
not
Human
real,
Centipede
but
2?
it's just like that shit just sounds so overly.
Don't cry.
Yeah,
you only make Daddy's Willy harder.
Like I'm definitely that's a movie I'm probably never gonna watch.
That movie is very deeply disturbing.
If y'all want to see a disturbing movie, I haven't watched it. I'm sorry for cutting you off, but watch Irreversible.
What is that?
I don't even like.
Describe
I don't know.
it.
It's a movie that plays in reverse. It like you get the last thing that happens chronologically, and then you just get everything before, and it has like a full rape scene that is like. Unedited, yeah. It's apparent. Everyone who's seen it said it's like one of the hardest movies to watch ever, and a Serbian film.
I don't think I would watch that.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude,
that's what I'm saying.
Serbian film, fuck that.
Oh, this.
We're just getting onto fucking.
Hold up, the
This
Serbian
is the
film,
fourth topic.
Wasn't
Just
the
fucked up
Serbian
movies.
film like? Wasn't some of it real?
No, that was a rumor. I'm pretty sure. I don't think any of that was real.
Have y'all seen that movie? I think it's like.
Animal Holocaust was one where they like actually killed animals, or not Animal Holocaust. Is that what it's called?
It's like Cannibal Holocaust.
Cannibal Holocaust, which is that is a
so
definite.
did they kill
that is
people?
I think they show dead bodies. They kill a turtle.
They show dead bodies and they actually kill animals on set.
Yeah,
and then,
which is
where did they get the dead bodies?
They're in South America filming.
Yeah, it's some type of like tribe.
Those hoes are probably just like laying around in the forest.
And like, it's like old founder footage, and the way that they do it is they make it seem so realistic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, people thought it was like an actual snuff film.
And like at the end of the film, all the characters die because they're just going around like murdering these tribesmen.
Yeah.
Until the tribesmen turn on them and kill them. And the contract that all the actors signed is for 2 years. And once the movie is released, they can't post anything on social media. They can't.
Well, that movie came out way before social media, right?
Or they can't come out and like do interviews and stuff like that.
Well, who the fuck would? I don't know. I would not want to be like. Yeah, I was a part of the film where we murdered a bunch of turtles. And
everyone thought they were
murdered a bunch of turtles.
Get some stem shells. I think that's.
Yeah, I was about to say, are y'all?
Yeah.
Let's close down.
You could probably like cut out the last.
We can cut out a lot of this. Maybe I won't.
I was about to say, be bold.
Be bold. Just show it.
But yeah, I guess.
Be like a naked guy in the locker room. Just like let them.
Not me though.
Yeah, you the one that said it. It's you. You do it.
I have to be the naked guy in the locker room.
Well, you're editing it, so you technically are the metaphorical dude in the locker room with his dick out.
This is true. I did not realize that when setting up that metaphor. All right.
So yeah, go ahead and walk through that hallway of lockers where everyone else is getting dressed. And by that I mean edit. Don't edit any of this out. That's what I mean.
All right. Awesome.
Metaphors.
So thank you very much for
this was
listening.
A fucking crazy episode.
Our Game of Thrones, Star Wars, Dicks podcast.
With a small excursion into the world of snuff films.
Or just fucked up movie. I've never seen an actual snuff film. I want to clarify that.
And I've never seen a full snuff film.
Oh God.
Well, like, okay, hold on.
No, like we're not getting into this.
Like an actual snuff film, or like a film that seems like a snuff film.
I mean, have you seen an actual snuff film?
No.
Okay, good. That's okay.
I've seen stuff that seems like a snuff film, and then like once you see it, you're like, oh shit, what did I just watch? And then you look it up and you're like, okay, this is all fake.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not a psychopath.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Just to clarify.
Ooh,
all right.
You got some stuff going on.
My dignity almost disappeared, bro.
All right, so.
All right, yeah. Thank you very much for listening to the.
This was a doozy.
Episode number 7 of the Conversation Havers podcast.
I guess so. Yeah, Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Game of Thrones.
Should we do one after everything's all said and done, like the whole season?
Yeah, we can do like a Game of Thrones recap,
or maybe like halfway, like 3 episodes into the season.
Mm-hmm.
And then
that might be a little overkill on the Game of Thrones. We can like touch on it.
Well, let's just do it after it's all done then.
Yeah, all said and done, we can like Game of Thrones recap. Maybe we can even come back and recap.
Talk about our favorite
Leave a like on this video if you want to see. I want to see if we can get this to 3 likes. If we can do that, like that would just be the best.
Yeah,
that's like the intro to every.
Go down to the Patreon in the description.
Yeah. Bro,
no, it's
support us on Patreon.
Hey, can we make a 3D intro for all of these?
Bang-a-rang!
The conversation. Oh my fucking god!
All right, well,
the blocks. Okay. Conversation ending now.
Goodbye.
But hold on, some more dicks.
Oh, shite!
Wait. Shut up!
This fucking recording's never going to end.
Alright.
You need to learn how to flush the toilet.
After you take a shit!
This is fucking bullshit!
Fucking disgusting!
Fuck me! God damn it!
Alright, save
this podcast recording is taking fucking forever!
Alright, save this.
Shite!
Charlotte by Charlotte.
She said, I will be singing Charlotte. Or was it me? She goes, she's like, which one of you took a shit? She's
like, which one of you took a shit in the toilet?
Fucking disgusting!
No, you hear the small one go, wasn't me.
Well, it was one of us.
Alright.
It's so old, Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
That was in middle school. Like, holy shit.
Okay, alright.
Save that.
Save
that.
that.
That was funny.
Okay.